And we're live. Hello, everyone. Yes, all wave. Ha ha ha. They can see us. We're on the internet. I really hope we're on the internet anyway. Um, yes, good evening, everyone. As you may or may not be aware, I'm Kirby Rawstorm, a charity streamer under the
Who?
organisation Roll Together. We're currently raising money for charity, the LGBT Foundation, but more of that later. Or, well, Nummy's on it, so more on that now. They're a charity who do good things for the LGBT community and provide support for them and are a worthy establishment. So, should you wish to make a donation, there is a Just Giving link in the chat to allow you to do so. So,
Is there?
yes. Anyway,
Is it just not showing up on mine then? Because I just did the command and it hasn't showed up.
yeah, showing up on mine. You did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you weren't just trying to freak me out.
No, it's
You were
because
actually
it's
asking.
not on my. It's literally not in my Twitch chat. So
Interesting. I wonder if announcements don't show up on phones then.
That probably is right. That announcements don't show up on mobile.
Uh,
The mobile app is garbage.
yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, well,
I can usually see the things that I post.
yeah, they've all been
commands for,
changed to announcements. So
Okay, well, anyone who's watching on mobile, good luck donating or knowing who is on the stream, etc., etc.
Alternatively, you can just use all of the links that are everywhere else. So we've got those. Hello, Joanna Wanna. Welcome, first time viewer in chat. Also, as a quick hello to everyone else in chat. Vera, welcome on in. Retro, lovely to see you. Senesion, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in. Sammy Kelch, hey cuties. I'm assuming she's talking to the rest of you. Tex Unplugged, who's that? And Sotka, lovely to see you as always. With me, I have some wonderful people. If you would care to introduce yourselves in the order that was preordained. Also, welcome in Nummy Numbers into chat. Our wonderful mod.
Yes, welcome to me. I'm great. I understand I'm supposed to introduce myself first. So hello, it's me, Nomi Numbers. I am playing Sorrow. She is a human wizard, now with a little warlock, and the thing I said last time was that she has no time for your bullshit, and it's still true.
And yet she's
Is the little warlock like in a pocket in a backpack?
Just a little
warlock in a locket.
Little diddy warlock.
No, Diddy's a monk.
That's too much chaos.
Somebody else speak.
Anyway, who else do we have here?
Hello, everybody. I'm Adam from Gaijin Gamer, and I'm here today playing Jack Stable, the stable hand turned stable knight. I think he's a stable knight, or is he an unstable knight? I don't really know anymore.
The campaign shall tell.
So he just does what he wants and tries to be good, usually with varying consequences.
Excellent. And next?
I think it's me. Is it me?
Yes, it is you.
Okay, good. Hi, I'm Luna, and I am playing Rose, who is a changeling shadow sorcerer. I definitely didn't just forget what Rose was then. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just having to adjust.
Got cool eyes and shit. It's cool.
Ah!
Yeah. Cool eyes.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting Luna because she's gone slightly off the edge.
I think I've always been off the edge.
I didn't want to make that joke. Fantastic. And last but not least, we have...
Hi, I'm Tex. I am playing Yaki, the drow cleric, who has regrets about their choice of hair and eye colour.
Fantastic. Yes, welcome one and all. Thank you all for coming along, and thank you to the guests coming along as well. Sorry, I'm just rolling up my sleeves as we get down to the very, manual business of playing D&D. So yeah, just a reminder, we're raising money for the LGBT Foundation today. There are links all around the place that you can access. Just giving, they are in the About section. They can be found in the chat, all sorts of places. So they are there if you want to make a donation. Not required, but it is always appreciated. Next up, just as a quick reminder, our normal tipping rewards, omitting words, singing songs, all that kind of stuff, is disabled for this particular stream because we're doing a game. So, justice for mobile users, this is, I see. So yeah, just so you know, any of those kind of rewards you'd receive for donating will roll over to the next stream that you attend. So if you do decide to make a massive donation, you will still get your rewards for it, just not this time. Next announcement. You may or may not be able to hear some thunder, and you can't hear the lightning because apparently it's a visible phenomenon, but you can hear some rain and other things. And possibly some music in the background. That is also provided by Sirenscape, who are the music of choice that I use for my games. I have to tell you about them when I use them on a stream because it's part of their terms of service. But I would do that anyway because they are awesome. And yes, just they're great. If you're watching the VOD or the VOD as I would call it, then there will be a link in the description that will kind of say what stuff I use and how you can get hold of it as well. Next up, quick request just to the chat. If you have seen this before, please don't put any spoilers into the chat because I watched back the last show we did and I saw quite a few spoilers for people saying things that feel free to put in anything like, hypothesis about what you think might happen, anything like that, but don't actually confirm what is going to happen. Just in case any of the players are reading it, don't want to spoil it for them. As I said, I've changed it slightly from the official module anyway, but yeah, if you can just avoid any spoilers, that would be greatly appreciated. All that aside, are there any announcements anyone else wants to make before we jump into the game? Excellent. Yes, I changed the game to make Strahd a boomer. He has inherited his castle. He avoided tax and such. And yes, anyway, to jump into...
You didn't make those changes. That's just how the feudal system works.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything because you don't necessarily know what's happened. So I'm just not going to... Yeah, I'm not going to clarify. But you can believe what you want to believe, and that's fine. So, as a brief recap, during the last couple of sessions, you arrived in the land of Barovia, all of your characters finding that they had no memory. You arrived in the village of Barovia, somewhat confusingly named, and visited with Mary, an ostracized member of the village, and promised to rescue her daughter Gertruda, who had seemingly vanished off to the castle. You visited the Burgermeister's house, met Irina and Ismark, the children of the Burgermeister, who was unfortunately recently deceased, and they hired you to take Irina to Vallaki, the village you're just about to arrive at, after the burial of their father, which was to take place the day hence. You took the father to the church, buried him, heard some mysterious sounds from the graveyard, hid, not investigated, and then left the town for the Sur camp. Where you met a tax collector called Thomas Iskander. You had a reading from the wise Vistani, Madam Ava, who told you that you'd been brought to Barovia to free the land, that there were 3 weapons, 1 ally, and a location where you could find Strahd, and gave you these bits of advice. And from then on, you continued on towards Vallaki, where you were invited to dine at Castle Ravenloft, the home of Count Strahd von Zarevich, seemingly the cause of all the troubles in the land, possibly, maybe, who knows. You were greeted by his servant, Rahadin, shown into the dining hall, where you met Strahd, who asked you your plans while you were in Barovia, told you that he was in fact the one who'd brought you to Barovia to find his replacement, and implored you to prove yourselves worthy in the land in order to assert your claim on lordship, should you wish to do so. You went off to explore the castle, found Gertruda in a bedroom, and then, in a very quick sequence of events after that, your companion Sive disappeared when she ran into a teleportation circle by accident. You returned to the main hall, where Irina had some sort of breakdown and began calling Strahd darling. Jack forced Ismark and Gertruda out of the castle and returned himself for Irina, where the rest of the team and Jack got Irina out safely. Sorrow, meanwhile, had gone exploring the castle and found the supposed ally that had been mentioned in Madame Eva's reading behind a locked door. She spoke with Strahd and was told that she was the only one who could become Lord of Barovia, and that only one of the group would be able to leave Barovia, and not the entire group. While all of this happened, you made your way... after all of this happened, you made your way to the nearby windmill as it was growing dark and you wouldn't be able to reach Vallaki in time, where you met Granny Bones. You spent the night, bought 3 pastries, and Jack made a deal from whence he would be able to find an item that was very dear to him, that seemed to be in the land, and he traded the ability to see the colour red, seemingly inconsequential, whereas Sorrow made a slightly larger deal, made something of a pact, you might say, trading a favour for power. However that will turn up, we shall see. And then, in the morning, you all departed and made your way to Vallaki, which took the entire day, so you're arriving at pretty much dusk. Though dusk in Barovia is pretty damn similar to the rest of the time, so it's much of a muchness. It's just a bit darker now. So, as you are making your way to Vallaki throughout the course of the day, you find, as you walk along, just slight hints of things reminding you of various different scenarios that you've encountered in your past. Seemingly, it seems like some of your memories are starting to return, slowly but surely. A little flash here or there, kind of some unremembered scent as you pass a flower or something of that nature, and you kind of just have these odd little flashbacks of memory, and you find this all throughout your journey. Eventually, you all, including Irina, Ismark, and Gertruda, arrive at the gates of Vallaki, which is a town surrounded by a slightly more robust wooden palisade than the previous village of Barovia, which was rather more ramshackle, had been. However, outside you found lots of long stakes, all of which seem to have the heads of wolves impaled upon them. Some singular heads, others 2 or 3 apiece, like some kind of wolf head kebab. And it was at this point in time that you entered the gates of Vallaki, which were just in the processes of being shut for the evening. And you find yourself in the streets of Vallaki, which is a town. There are quite a few more buildings. It seems to be much more populated than Barovia was. And as you kind of start walking through, you can see that the main roads themselves, as opposed to Barovia, are actually cobbled, though everything is still quite muddy. And it's only with the little side streets that seem to be more dirt paths than anything else. There are a number of people kind of walking to and fro throughout the town, though very few where you are at the moment, because you're just at the edges, and what you seem to be walking through is a residential area. But yes, you're currently on what seems to be the main street of Vallaki, and you are free to do as you wish. What would you like to do?
Have we got? We should probably take where are Arena and Ismark going, because we should drop them off first because they owe us money for getting them there.
Ismark says that. Well, I was hoping to head to the Blue Water Inn it's in the centre of town. To be honest, I assumed we'd all be going there because it's the only place with any rooms.
And presumably it has a bar.
Yes, it's an inn slash.
Let's go get
tavern.
fucked up.
Fair enough. Yes, all right. Both he and Irina still seem a little bit shaken following the previous night's events. Though I will say that Ismark is showing a little bit more fortitude than his sister and seems to be kind of like getting a little bit back towards his more bouncy and jolly self. Gertruda, through this whole jaunt, has been slightly spaced out, not in the sense that she's been charmed, but just in the sense that she seems a bit vacant. So yes, he kind of like heads off down the street in a vaguely authoritative manner. You assume he's heading in the general direction of the Blue Water Inn. Are you all following? Okay. I'd like everyone to make me a quick little perception check. Please.
Two.
Okay. 2, 6.
19.
Oh, thank God.
11.
Okay. You're walking along the street. You're all kind of basically following Ismark, and along the way, sorry, you're the only one of the group, and you can choose whether to mention to the others or not. You pass a location that has a sign that says Arasek Stockyard. All of you see this in the sense that it's a very visible sign. Sorry, what you notice while the rest of people kind of walk on is that there's this very out of place, quite colourful wagon parked in the centre of this kind of what seems like a little square, recessed square within the stockyard. There are a number of other wagons in there as well, but they're all kind of the normal drab brown, wood, grey. Everything around here is made of stone or wood, and none of it seems to have gone out of its way to be painted, but this is just one particularly bright and eye-catching wagon, somewhat similar to the Vistani wagons that you saw when you were at the Sir Camp. But yeah, that's something you notice and catches your eye. But nothing else particularly of note seems to stir your curiosity.
Okay.
Cool. You just walking on?
For now.
Very good. Okay. You make your way down this long, it's not really a high street, it's a main road, the long main road through the town. You've got a number of buildings on either side. About 1 in every 4 seems to be either abandoned or boarded up or showing some kind of sign of disrepair. Though, as I say, the town does seem to be a lot more populated than Barovia village. After about half an hour, you make your way to the town square. And just on this square, you can see Ismark has paused as the lights got very dim. And from there, you can see that there's this kind of inviting warm light shining from one of the buildings. And across the door, you see the hanging label that says Blue Water Inn. He kind of looks at you. So this is the place, I think. And just kind of like heads in the door. Excellent. So you all head inside. Why have I lost my music? God damn. Sorry. You make your way inside And in stark contrast to the kind of the gloomy outdoors, you see that there are a number of people in here, all quite merry within the restraints that you find merry in Barovia. Most people are just sitting in groups of threes or fours at tables, drinking mugs of ale or wine or various lucidious beverages. They are all kind of like sat there. There are a couple of people of note that you spot as you come in. First being the barman, who is a very dour, kind of like middle-aged looking chap, stood behind the bar. Traditionally, as is a barman's wont, polishing a wooden glass for no apparent reason, wooden tankard. You also notice that in the corner there is kind of like a slightly raised platform that would be vaguely equivalent to a stage, atop which is a half-elven gentleman in very bright, kind of like lime green robes with a lute, singing away, plucking his lute, and performing for the crowd. Generally speaking, he's doing small poems, humorous bits. Kind of every now and then he'll break into something more of a ballad, but generally speaking, he's there as kind of more of a spoken word performer with light lute accompaniment. Another quick perception check from everyone, people.
$15.
24.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
0.
0.
Jack, you see the bar, and that's enough. Rose, you're just just scouting the place out and kind of keeping an eye out for everything, but everything seems fine. Sorrow, you spot what you've got a sense that you would naturally keep an eye out for anyway, and you see two early 20s males over in a corner, just kind of like speaking to a group of people, and you can see from their kind of demeanor that they're vaguely troublemaker-ish, and that's what you pick up. They're both quite burly. They don't look like they've got much in the way of an intelligence, but you can just tell that something at some point during the night is going to kick off with these two. Yaki, what you spot is in the kind of the top left-hand corner, nearer the bar. You spot a familiar face in that of a lady you met in the forest as you were travelling through from Barovia on your way to where you went to Castle Ravenloft. A young woman whose name was Sarah, and who you spoke to briefly just after having found a corpse in the second session. I don't know if you remember. Cool. Yeah, you met someone on the road who said she was waiting for her friends to come back and that they were off in the forest, and that she was perfectly happy and feeling quite safe, and just advised you not to stray off the track, basically. But you spot this person again. She is not boisterous, but she and her companions are all kind of muttering good-spiritedly amongst each others and just kind of knocking back a couple of pints of ale and wine. So, that's what you all see. Ismark and Arena have headed straight to the bar and are both being poured goblets of wine. Gertruda is just kind of like staring around at things in a very interested fashion. What would everyone else like to do?
I'm at the bar getting a drink with Ismark.
Right, you are.
I'm standing back waiting for Yaki to remind Ismark that he owes us money.
I'm saying, Yaki, go and tell Ismark and Arena that they owe us money.
Yaki.
Is that within earshot of Verena? I'm not sure where.
No. She's gone off to the other end of the room. You can talk in private should you wish to.
Fair enough. I'll go chat to. Well, I'll join Jack and his Mark at the bar. Just to briefly remind his Mark that he owes us money before quickly leaving the two of them to it, because I don't want to be like interrupting or getting in the way of anything.
Very well. So you join Ismark at the bar. He says, yeah, I was just getting some drinks. I'll bring to the table over there." And he kind of just points at one of the free tables. Despite the fact that there are quite a few people in here, there are a number of free tables. It's busy in a relative sense. So he kind of points over there and brings over a large ewer of wine and a couple of pints and sets them down. And seems to be waiting for people over there.
I mean, I'm gonna go get wine if there's wine. I can't buy it myself yet.
There is indeed wine.
Can Gertrude drink? Is she old enough to drink? Should I be stopping Gertrude drinking?
That's a good question. I would say that Barovia has no such laws. I think it's probably the kind of places where 10-year-olds drink. So
No.
we'll
like
say that there
England,
are
then.
no laws of such nature. But it is up to you whether you stop their drink.
I could. Oh, this feels very.
She's about
Question.
15.
Yeah, but it feels questionable morally. I'm wondering if whatever glass she drinks out of, can I use prestidigitation to make it taste stronger than it is, so she doesn't like get absolutely wasted.
Of course. Yeah. Is everyone heading over to the table, or are you doing different things? That's what I'm waiting for people to say.
Yeah, I've headed over.
I want to go chat to Sarah.
Okay, sure. Anyone else doing something different to sitting at the table?
I'm gonna stand somewhere in between the table and the other conversation and just look surly.
Which conversation is it that you're standing between? Is it the one with...
the one that Yaki is going
Gotcha.
to have.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah, you can essentially lean at the bar and keep both tables in eyeshot. So that's probably the best place for you to stand. The barman kind of like temporarily tries to engage you in small talk and gauges your interest in such things.
I don't speak to him whatsoever, but I do maintain intense eye contact throughout.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. He kind of like looks and goes, "Oh, travellers. You had a hard journey," and then just kind of like maintains the eye contact. Is very well. Walks off. Yaki, you head over and you see this woman called Sarah, who you met on the road previously. Says, "Oh, hi. How are you doing? You survived then. You're on mute, I hate to tell you."
No. Canonically, I walked up and just mouthed some words. Hey,
The bard
Sarah,
was playing
right?
really loud.
Yeah, it's good. And now Freebird. Anyway, sorry, what is that? So your friends made it here then?
Yeah, and presumably you met up with your friends as well.
Oh yeah, here, and she kind of like indicates to the table where you can see another woman and two men sat there. They're kind of like both. They all just kind of like raise a tankard in a vaguely friendly manner, but also slightly cautious. And oh yeah, we get about a lot, us. We got here ahead of you, so I wasn't sure you'd make it.
Yeah, we took a detour.
That's Mighty bold of you.
Yeah, it was fine. We had an invite. We stopped off.
Oh, it's kind of she's giving you the eye, kind of like waiting for you
As
to.
you do, but you know how it is. You want to you meet some interesting people, right?
Most times when people meet interesting people around here, they don't make it out alive. So, good on you. Congratulations.
I mean, that's got to say good things about us that we've met plenty of interesting people and we're still alive.
Indeed. And I'll drink to that, and she kind of raises a tankard and just downs about half of it.
Yeah, I'll kind of do the same.
So, was there something I can help you with, or were you just coming over to chat?
I just thought I'd come over and say hi. I mean, we've just helped some, a couple of these people. They were going to Vallaki, so we're just kind of stopping over for the evening.
Nice. Well, have you got somewhere to stay yet?
I don't think we've actually booked in yet. We're just going to book it upstairs. We'll check if we've.
Fair enough. I was going to say, word to the wise, this town's got a curfew, so no going out after a certain time, or you stay where you are. But if you're booked in here, not a problem.
Can drink till late.
Indeed, a lot of people do.
Sounds like a good plan.
Right, you are. And she kind of drinks to your health again, and continues the conversation, should you wish to, in a way that has happened off camera. The rest of you find yourself sat at a table with Ismark, Irina, and Gertrudis, who's kind of like hovering nearby, and just sat down, shaking a glass of wine, so more of it goes on the table than anything else. And Ismark kind of starts talking. He says, thank you for getting us to Vallaki. I mean, this is where we asked you to take us, so we can pay you now if you'd like. We're going to be making an appointment to see the Burgermeister of the village. I don't know if you need to see him for anything, but we could put in a good word for you if you need. And just who's looking like they're trying to obtain some money?
When he said that he's going to pay us, I was sat opposite him and I just put my hand out on the table.
Cool. You see a reasonable size bag of coin. I almost phrased that terribly. And he just kind of like extends it and very swiftly puts it in your hand, retracts, as if he doesn't want to be shown to be handing out large sums of money in the open, particularly often. But you now have a bag of 100 gold coins in your hand.
Oh, I stash it in my armor pouch.
Okay, like a gerbil in the pouch. Very good. So yes, you have your 100 gold, and he says, yeah, we're gonna stay here for the time being, and see if we can get the house or a house of some kind in the village. We'll go speak to the Burgermeister. What are you going to do?
And buy the most expensive ale I can find at the bar.
I mean, it's good to have short-term goals, right? What about the rest of you?
Don't encourage him, please.
I'll be honest. Rose, Miss Rose, how I was going to say, how would Ismark have been addressing you for this time?
He hasn't. He's been terribly rude and overlooked me
Oh,
for 3 sessions.
Miss Rose, I'm terribly sorry to have overlooked you for such a long time. How would you like to be addressed?
This is weird. I don't know. Sorry, when I said don't encourage him, I was talking to everybody. And you know why. Look at the chat, Kirby.
I'm so confused.
All right.
Yeah, so am I. What? Drinking, rap performances, eel children. Anyway, it's like, yeah. Anyway, what are your plans, Rose, person who I've spoken to before in cordial conversation?
So are we gonna get to find anything else more about this whole weird? You know, your sister's a bit. What's the deal? You're not gonna tell us, are you?
Well, what deal? I don't understand. Sorry. What's the question?
She, what is going on with her?
I don't know. I mean, she went a bit funny at the castle, which was creepy as hell, but I just assumed that's like some kind of vampire thing, isn't it? I don't know. I'll be honest, this isn't exactly my forte. I'm not well versed in what to do when your sister goes a bit funny in front of a undead being. Anyone else have any ideas? Anyone else want to throw out any suggestions for what I should be doing or what she should be doing? By all means, we're new to this. No? Okay. Yeah. Well. Basically, we're gonna try and get away from him, and our intention is to find some kind of house here, which hopefully will be far enough away, given that well, we kind of have grown up in the village of Barovia, which is right next to his castle, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's about as much as I've got in terms of ideas. I'm not magically trained. I don't know. I don't have any better ideas. If anyone's got any, please do share them. Kind of like looks between you and Jack.
Hypothetically, if anyone was going to pretend to be Irina, what might they need to know?
It kind of like looks to Irina and says, that's a good question, I suppose. Well, my name is Irina. I have lived in the village of Barovia since I was 7. I am the adopted daughter of the Burgermeister. I'm on the wrong page to see what the name of their father was. Ismark Kolyanovich. I was abducted by Strahd on 2 separate occasions, neither of which time I have any memory of what went on. Though I did return with some minor wounds, and she kind of like pulls her collar down, which you've seen before. She has been forthcoming with this information. You see that there are a couple of like puncture marks, which is, though very clearly not undead, because I can enter churches and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, do you have any... We could spend some time getting to know each other, if that's what is required. And she kind of looks a bit confused, but it might be the kind of thing you'd have to roll to have like a conversation of how well can you get to know Irina in X number of hours to be a convincing kind of like pass off as Irina.
Okay. Irina, what do you know about your... Who are you? Do you know anything about your, like, birth parents?
No, I was found emerging from the woods one day when I was 7. I only know that I was 7 because I seem to have that memory. But apart from that, no memories from before that age. I don't know who I came from or where.
What would I need to roll to like do the whole exam cramming? But the exam is being arena.
We will. That would be like an overnighty kind of like spending a solid couple of hours getting to know you. So
Can we do it in a montage to maybe the music of Rodgers and Hammerstein?
yeah, we can certainly do it. If you want to spend your time in the inn doing that, or like, I don't know if you want to go, sit in a bedroom somewhere and chat or something. It depends what you want to do.
Is Arena propositioning me, or
No, she's
is
not
it just me that's
propositioning.
hearing that?
Yeah, it's you hearing that.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna.
I have to say, I thought we might be hearing the beginning of Rosna as a couple named to be improved upon.
Rosina is right there.
Yeah, that's way better than Rose now.
I said named to be improved upon.
Anyway, yes, Rosina head off to a room which they rent from. So I'm assuming you're all going to be staying here for the evening. Very well. Who's handling the transactions?
Jack's got the money.
I would like to go over to Jack and just ask him for my share of the money, please. And when I say ask, I mean I don't really ask. I more glare at him until he gives me my money.
I give Sorrow 20 gold.
And what happens to Sives 20?
Beer fund.
You can hang on to it for now.
Very well. Who's dealing with the rooms?
Jack is. I'm going to pay so everyone get to their own private room. How much is a room?
So a room is 1 silver a bed. You head up to the bar and the barman says, "All right,
Right.
what can I do you for?"
4 beds.
Are any of them bunk beds? Check if they're bunk beds, because you could get them on a technicality.
All right, that'd be 4 silver. Yeah, there are kind of like highlights 2 rooms upstairs and says, "Got 2 beds in one, 2 in the other." Very good. You're not the talkative type, are you?
Can I suggest the thought drifts across the room to Jack that we might need to pay for the girl's bed as well? Can we kind of brought her along? Probably should buy her a bed and not.
You don't
just-
need to sleep, Yaki. You don't need a bed.
That's a fair point, actually.
Sorry. Unless you want one. I'm not there. Sorry.
Neither am I. It's fine.
Right, you're a strong but silent type. I can see that. So 4 blades, was it?
Quick,
Think
what's
so.
the barman's name? I think we've got a new ship.
The barman's name is Erwin. This name's
German.
Erwin.
I mean, every story needs a love triangle, right?
Joe and Gismark.
Will Jack choose Irwin or Ismark? It's the Team Irwin or Team Ismark.
Is win. Is win.
It's amazing. I can hear these conversations in my head like they're really there. Anyway, strong but silent man. You want 4 beds, do you?
Yeah.
All right, that'd be 4 silver. You want food and bread and board and all that?
Is it complimentary?
No. You pay for it. Oh, bloody hell. It's just... Like, Jack. Jack. Can I call you Jack? Is your name Jack?
How do you know my name?
I'm a very, very good listener. Listen, Jack. Let's call it 6 silver all in, bed and board, four beds, breakfast, and we'll throw in another round of drinks for you and your mates.
Take it 2 drinks each.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Can I do it as an intimidation?
You
Like
can.
I slam my hand on the thing.
All right. Just as a quick note, you don't have advantage on intimidation checks. You just get to add your proficiency bonus.
That's
'Cause
fine.
I had a look at that last time, and we gave you advantage for some reason.
Feel like it was because I had something.
Yeah, I checked that. You have menacing, which just gives
yeah,
you
no, yeah,
proficiency.
that's right. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that.
So yeah, all right. Standard intimidation check, not with disadvantage.
That is an impressive 7.
You kind of you slam your hand down on the bar, and the barman leans over, sticks his hand over yours. What looks like a very tender gesture, possibly, and you just feel him like slightly crushing on your hand, and you feel this immense strength and pressure. Just go, no, I think it'll be 6 with 1 round of drinks.
I put my other hand on top of his hand and lean in.
Okay, you're just getting into this weird like.
How about
One, 2, 1, no.
we make it 2?
No, we'll make it 1, and I'll give
2.5.
Oh no. Listen, how about 1, and I'll ask and answer any questions about the town you've got. How about that? Can't say fairer than that.
Yaki, we got any questions about the town? Oro?
Yes, we have questions about the town. We'll pay 6. We'll take the deal that you want. Which rooms is it upstairs?
Those 2. He highlights 2 on the balcony above.
Great, you can bring the food up, and I just go upstairs and go into one of the rooms.
Very good. Both of the rooms seem to contain 4 beds in total. So looks like you'll be sharing the room with some other people potentially. So yeah, you find yourself upstairs. All is well. Rose and Irina, you find yourselves in your room, or in a room, just talking and chatting the hours away. Let's make this a general intelligence check for you, Rose. You're gonna spend. How long are you gonna spend doing this?
A little bit. I don't know until it gets awkward. You know when you run out of things to say and it's like, well, I'll go back to my room, and then I can leave with like my pillow and whatever else you'd take to a sleepover, because that's kind of the vibe I'm imagining.
Fair enough.
I just need to get my character sheet. Sorry. Wait, hang on. What am I rolling? I'm sorry.
Intelligence. Just add your intelligence modifier.
Oh, I'm actually not stupid. It turns out.
We never thought you were.
Ooh, 18 in total.
Excellent. So over the course of about 2 or 3 hours, you get a good feel for who this person is. Less focusing on the details of their life, because their life has basically been living in Barovia in constant fear in a ramshackle village. You get the sense that she's quite robust in the sense of like she doesn't take shit from people. She's kind of more offensive on as the first line of defense, so she tends to be a bit gruff with people at first. But generally speaking, she's got good motives. She cares about the people of Barovia, wants them to live better lives and have better times ahead of them, as like your general marker. Doesn't seem to be particularly afraid of anything. Like even Strahd himself, you get the sense that she's more she's scared, but she's also more angry at him than anything, and kind of would rather like fight than just roll over and accept whatever fate is being laid out for her. So you kind of get those kind of vibes. Is there anything you particularly want to ask about, like personality or?
Why did she just... She seemed to just be pretty accepting when we went to the castle. Why did she just like, let's drink the wine and...
She explained that you guys said that you were going there, and therefore she hadn't wanted to go. You all said to go, and therefore she had to go, because the alternative was dying out in the middle of the night. Kind of like alone and unmourned. So the alternative was death. So she went there because a group decision was made to go there. I didn't want to go. Everyone was set on attending, and you pointed out that the message said that none of us would be harmed. So we went. It wasn't really a choice.
Okay. Sure did drink a lot of wine, though.
I only had like 2 glasses. I was going to say, from what you all remember is that she had a lot more than 2 glasses.
Yeah.
But she also
she
didn't
did.
remember the end of, like, towards the end of the evening, she remembered almost nothing.
I know, I've been there. Yeah. Should I have asked anything else? I don't know.
I mean, if you think of anything over the next, let's say, half hour or so, we can always retcon it and kind of do a flashback to like you're there chatting in your gym jams or whatever.
Yeah. Got wine. We're being obnoxious and loud. The people in the rooms next to us are probably like, "Oh God."
Yeah, there's
There's drunk white women next door.
There's a guy in the bed at the far end of the room just with a pillow over head going, ah. Yeah.
We discuss what their favourite song is and sing it loudly.
What is the favourite song of Rose? Go on.
Right, it's not this, but right now I have the Pina Colada song in my head. I don't know why.
Yeah, smash cut to if you like pina coladas. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, if you do think of anything else, we can smash cut back to it. But yeah, roll of 18, not too bad. You feel like you have a good sense of this person. If you don't understand like the most intricate details of their life, you've at least got a good sense of who they are. What would anyone else like to do before you go to bed?
I can't remember whether I dismiss my familiar.
Well, when you dismiss it, it goes into a tiny little pocket dimension and basically lives in its little Pokeball until you bring it out.
Okay, I want to summon it back though as a different thing.
Okay.
Do I need to do the ritual again?
Yeah, let's... I how many materials did you have in order to? How much did you have in your starting pack of the rare herbs, charcoals, and incense that you need to be able to perform that spell?
Plenty, surprisingly. I don't remember why I carry so much of these rare magical materials with me, but I've got a lot.
Okay. How much do you have though? Because it's a 10 gold.
Do you
per
want me to give you? You want me to give you quantities?
Yeah, it's 10 gold per spell.
Wait.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I had. I can't find where my equipment is on here. Okay. Well, I still have 23 gold, and that's not including the money that I just made.
Okay, but in terms of the materials, you have to buy them in advance. Or you have to have them on your possession in advance. I'd say
I have them on, but I just said I had them on my possession.
Okay, how much do you have? Because it's a specific ingredient that gets consumed by the spell.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. So how much have you got left?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. And I was going to say, unless you've got it specifically saying that you've got rare incense and such and such and such.
Well, given that we, okay,
I'd say
let's
it'd be
meta it.
Mhm.
Let's meta it. You and I both know my backstory,
Yeah.
If you
So
like
we-
pina
so we-
colada.
so we know why I've got a lot of materials on me.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be reasonable to be carrying like 1 or 2 charges of this on you. You wouldn't be carrying like 100 gold worth of incense, is what I'm saying. So like how much do you have? How much does your We'll say that either you've got it on your sheet or you've got 1 or 2 uses, one of which has been used.
All right. Well, then we'll say that I've got one more use.
Okay, very well. Then you've got 1 more use. Yeah, so if you want to resummon your familiar in a different form, then you need to use that last charge of rare incense, herbs, and whatever it is that the spell says it requires. But,
Yes.
okay. Right. So where do you want to go and do that? Cross off your supplies to say that you don't have them anymore. And what would you like to do? What are you trying to bring it out as? Give us the details, please.
I want to it was a raven before, and I want to resummon it as a spider.
Okay. And you're going to go do that in one of the rooms? You're going to do that in the middle of the tap room?
Well, I already went upstairs into the room.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, fair enough. You just tell me how you're doing the ritual that you're going to be doing.
Probably in much the same way that I did it last time, which was just to draw a number of markings and symbols and then scatter my ingredients, and then after an hour, spider.
Okay. Yes, so that takes, as you say, takes an hour and 10 minutes, and then you come back out of your trance of summoning, and before you is this long-legged, scurrying little creature. Or did you want a tiny spider?
No, I want it to be a reasonably chonky spider.
Tarantula-sized?
Maybe slightly smaller
Okay, sure.
and not so thick, but yeah,
Gotcha.
not too big, but not teeny.
Mm-hmm. Fine. You have the spider just kind of like curled up in your hands, and it just kind of gives you a friendly little.
Excellent.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else would like to do? Sorry, was there anything else?
I also want to eat my pastry, but I was going to wait and see who else ends up in this room. So you said other people might end up in this room with us. Like, who is going to be in this room?
Okay.
I was going to say, after let's say conveniently after just over an hour of conversation and teaching the group. You know the game where you get like a beer mat and you put it on the edge of the table and you flip it and catch it, and then you add a second one and you keep going. Having a fun drinking game with those group of people. Introducing them to that game. I might slip off upstairs and check in on Sorrow / kind of want to do definitely drug pastry and see who else is up for it.
I have been white girl drinking, so if we're doing drug pastries, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the people that is in the room with Irina. So you've got 2 beds in one room, with Irina being the 3rd person and there being an unknown man in the 4th bed. In the room with Sorrow, whoever you choose to determine to have the 2nd bed, that's fine. And there is currently no one in the other 2 beds at this point. So, who's coming to do pastries? Okay. So
Does this fit with the time scale of Rose talking to? Because we can wait for
Yeah,
Rose to
someone
be...
come and get me. Pick me up for
yeah.
pastries.
Yeah. You can finish your conversation around that time. That's fine. Awesome.
Jack's gone into the room and is just sort of stood in the corner, leaning on the wall, just watching.
Jack can be a designated responsible sober adult.
While drinking.
This is going to
a
go
pint.
so fucking badly wrong.
Jack's like got everyone else's pints from like the round and is just sat there with the tray, drinking them.
What kind of lock does this room have?
It doesn't have a lock. It's just a little door with like a latch type thing that lifts up.
You can't like bar it or something.
Does it
No.
open inwards?
Yes, it opens inwards.
So we could just move on the beds in front of it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yaki and Sorrow, I've got a really important question. If you look at my eyes, can you tell that I've drank loads of wine? Can you tell?
I can't tell from looking at your eyes.
Okay, good.
Jack offers to like pin his lance under the door handle.
That would be very
Isn't there?
helpful.
Is there any? This is the room with no one else in.
Yeah, we don't want them busting in on us though while we're...
No, yeah. Wait, where's Gertruda? Who's looking after the
She's fine, don't
She's
worry.
fine. Okay, cool.
Gertruda's fine. It's all
She's
fine.
fine.
Do you want a pastry now, Rose?
Yes, pastries.
I got some
No,
pastries.
Sorrow, Yaki, this is really important. And Jack, you're here. Do you like pina coladas? Do you like pina coladas? I like pina coladas. Pastries, yes.
Very well. Are you all eating pastries apart from Jack?
Yeah, Jack's just there for the show
Okay.
while getting drunk.
Very good. So to be clear, Irina is next door, Ismark is downstairs somewhere, Gertruda is downstairs somewhere, and you're all in a room doing pies. Very good.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I expected this night to go.
Fine, fuck it, yeah. This
How
seems...
did your characters die in the Curse of Strahd campaign? Was it dramatically fighting monsters? No.
They OD'd on pies.
Right, so you're all having a pie each, again, except Jack.
I might just drop a half and see how I go on.
That's fine.
I don't know. I don't have experience with drugs. I'm expecting someone to tell
In
me
all
what to
fairness,
do.
none of you expect these pies to be drugged. The players know. The characters think, these are pies. I'm just hungry at the end of a long night.
Wait, that's no.
Oh, no, that's right. You
I know that
magic
I
lick the
know that
pies.
the pies are
I don't know if you
special
told
pies.
anyone or not, but yeah, if you obviously could have, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. By the way, we're not just eating just normal pies. We're these are like we're
These
gonna.
aren't just-
These aren't normal pies. These are special pies.
Are they from M&S? I heard M&S pies are not just pies. I don't know how much of this is me doing drunk Rose and how much of this is me just being a weirdo. I'm
Totally
sorry.
Canon now.
Are they Vallaki pies?
Yeah, these are not just pies. These are Granny Bones pies. G and B. G and it's not the same, is it? It's M&S.
Who's eating half a pie, or who's eating a whole pie? I'm just
gonna eat
keeping
the whole pie.
track of how much pie you've got left.
Whole pie, whole
Whole
pie.
pie, okay, grand.
I don't know how do drugs. Rose hasn't done drugs before.
I break off a piece of pie and give it to Rose
Okay.
because she's already quite far gone.
For the purpose, like you can pretty much break them into two. So we'll say that you've got one pie left. Yaki's having a whole pie because it's
He wants to trip balls.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting his trance on. And so the other two. Okay, cool. Can I have a Where's it gone? There we go. Constitution saving throw, please, from everyone who's doing a pie. Jack, you stand in the corner
Yeah.
watching on as these people take pies. You've placed something under the door to stop people from coming in.
Oh, 10 in total.
10 in total, okay.
I got 16.
Okay. Yaki, you're on mute.
18.
18, okay. Yaki, just out of interest, where are all of you when this happens?
I don't know.
Are you
but
just
I
like
was
all sat on
imagining-
beds, like?
I thought we were sat
Or are you,
like
standing
on the
around,
floor. Are we
You're all
not sat
on
on
the
the
floor?
floor?
Yeah.
In my head, we're sat on the floor in a circle like weirdos.
Yeah, like back against some of the beds or against the wall or whatever.
Okay.
Sat on the floor. Yeah.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yaki, you eat this pie, and this extremely mellow and relaxed feeling comes over you. Like everything is fine, and everything is going to be fine from now on. And you gradually start to drift off into what you've only experienced here before, as far as you're aware. It doesn't feel like a natural sensation for you. You start to drift off into sleep, which is something you don't normally experience. And as you're doing, it's just a very gentle kind of like drift off. Your head leans back, and as you do so, you see Sorrow and Rose's heads just go pum pum as they both kind of like lean in together and just kind of like fall asleep instantly.
Is this some magical sleep?
No, this is not magical sleep.
Okay, you're good then.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I was just going to say. I would say that if it was anything negative from this, then you would have like advantage on the save, because I know elves and sleeping and things. But yeah, it's slightly different. But you're all good. Can everyone roll me a d4, please? And
Is that everyone
add
that's-
4.
Is that everyone that took a pie?
Yes.
Okay.
What are we doing with the roll? Sorry.
D4 plus 4.
Okay, 5.
Okay.
8.
7 for me.
Excellent. 7. Okay. As I say, Yaki, you see Sorrow and Rose drift off into sleep, but they seem to drift off not more violently, but just more suddenly and kind of in a more of a stumble and fall kind of way, in falling into sleep. And you find yourselves all dreaming, each of you. Um, Yaki, you find yourselves. Hang on, let's change this a bit cheerful.
Jefferson Airplane starts playing.
You all find yourselves coming to rest. Yaki, your dreams fill you with this sense of euphoria. You find yourself somewhere dark and subterranean. You find yourself with a sensation of moving very swiftly through this dark, cool terrain. No kind of bright light to harm your eyes. And you kind of think about that. You haven't really seen any bright lights since you came to Barovia. But you have the sense of not enjoying them, and where you are now, you feel cool and calm and in control, and as if you're one of the most powerful things in this terrain. Ahead of you, you see like a creature scuttle off into darkness. You draw kind of a bow and arrow and just loose an arrow into the dark, with the kind of a weird sense of satisfaction as you hear this cry out as your arrow hits its mark, and you know that you're in control in this terrain. You spend, I believe it was 8 hours in this kind of euphoric, dreaming sense where you're just moving. It's this constant sense of movement and rushing air and being in control. And you really don't want to wake up. However, 8 hours later, you do.
I just say, while they're all in this like little druggy state, is there a fire in the room?
No.
Is there a fireplace?
No. Most rooms in houses or inns or anything to that nature will not normally have a fireplace in, based on your experience. It'll be like the main room that does.
Is there anything that I can use that would like put like black mark on my finger and so I can draw on their faces?
Make an investigation check.
I'm just saying, I can cast Firebolt as a cantrip. Completely irrelevant, but
7.
7. It's the darndest thing. You've got all of these tools for making fire, but you just can't think how to make some kind of black, sooty substance. You go around looking for dust. Dust doesn't work. You go around like, oh, there's the wick of a candle. You turn like it, and then, oh, no, that doesn't seem to work. It's just like you've given Yaki like one extra eyebrow. It's very strange. Eventually you give up and think it'll be something you have to look for next time, unfortunately. Unless you can think of something in the meantime. Let's see, who is next? Sorrow, I believe. Sorrow. You too have this extreme sense of euphoria. It's almost like a head rush. Like sometimes when you hold your breath or when you do exercise or something, and then you inhale and there's that sudden rush of oxygen, and you kind of feel very empowered and very strong. You have this sense about yourself. You find yourself in your dream. You are walking through a snowy courtyard with an elderly man in robes similar to yours, if slightly more colourful. And you have this strong sense of recognition and positive sentiment towards them. Like this is a person you know and trust and enjoy the company of. And you find yourself walking through this courtyard. He's speaking to you. You can't hear the exact words. It's kind of, it's very much like in Snoopy when the teacher are mama. But you kind of like in your dream you can understand what he's saying, but it's also not really any words or any sense. and you see him open a door, and you walk up this curving spiral staircase up a tower, and he opens a door before you, and there's this wonderful sensation as you look inside, and you see. It's almost like a bright flash for a second, and then your vision clears, and inside there are rows and rows and rows and shelves of books. Kind of like you see and gestures inside, and you go inside, and there are all of these amazing books. You kind of like reach up to pull one from the shelf. You can't make out the title or the spine, but it's incredibly fascinating. On the front, there's this kind of like blurred symbol of. You can tell it's of arcane nature, but it's like your brain is interpreting that, and you can't actually make it out. You flip it open, there's text inside. You spend hours and hours and hours just flipping through, going through, and absorbing all of this knowledge, just deep into your brain. You're sinking into a long reading cycle, shall we call it? You're just working your way through book after book after book, flipping page after page after page. And yeah, you're essentially you're in your happy place. You wake up 7 hours later. However, you do not get a long rest, so you suffer 1 point of exhaustion. Rose, you find yourself in. It's a very old building. You look around, and you can see you're in a courtyard of some kind. In front of you, there's this large old building, very ornate. You can see like there's a large stained glass window with kind of a circular stained glass window with lots of intricate workings and beautiful imagery, kind of in reverse because it's meant to be seen from the inside. You're in this courtyard where there are many flowers and there's green grass and shady trees. It's a lovely sunny day, and you're filled with this sense of innate peace. You find yourself sitting on a very comfortable bench. You can hear nothing. There's no one around. There's just a gentle breeze, and you hear the sound of birdsong. And you feel so at peace. And that just sustains for the entirety of 5 hours. You don't know how long the time has been, but when you wake up 5 hours later, you feel so like you've been in this sense of almost like nirvana. It's been so peaceful, and you feel so at one with the world, and you wake up into this kind of harsh, dreary, grey reality that is almost entirely the opposite to what you've just left. And you also suffer a point of exhaustion.
What does that do?
That is a good question. Let me just
It gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. And they do stack with other things, so exhaustion can be bad. I will say that of the three of you, you all have this sense that you know exactly what caused this positive sensation, and you all have the desire to eat another one of these pies. It occupies your mind. It's very blurry at first, but then kind of as you spend more and more time awake, Sorrow and Rose, particularly in your tired states, the desire to eat these and consume this thing again, and to experience the peacefulness and the sense of completeness again, kind of almost overwhelms you. It's not. It sits there as a nagging feeling just at the back of your mind. No matter what you do, there's just this constant little fingernail just kind of like prodding you in the neck, going, "Have more pies." You could feel that way again. Have another pie.
I woke up earlier than Sorrow and Yaki, didn't I?
You did, yes.
In a room with 3 empty beds.
Yes.
What is stopping me getting into one of the beds?
Yeah, you
If
can
I'm
get into
so
another bed.
tired. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just get in a bed and be like,
Yeah, that's fine. You see that Jack is asleep.
maybe if it like,
The light has
because
broken, I will say. Like it's
I
that time in the morning.
I am adept at sleeping in the daytime.
Hmm.
So, but is there a like maybe before I do sleep, can I put like a pillow under Sorrow's head and like chuck a blanket over the, you know, just nice things.
Yaki has managed to maintain himself in such a way that it looks quite peaceful already. He's kind of in his Zen trance position, um, so seemingly seems quite comfortable. However, you do manage to just give Sorrow a little pillow on the headboard that she's leaning against and kind of rest a little blanket over her, and then you crawl into bed. Jack, it was about 2 hours after the pies were eaten. Um, a number of things happened last night. You heard a bell ring at one point, and then about half an hour later, you heard the bell ring again. It was quite loud, seemingly coming from like a church nearby or something like that. And shortly after that, you heard a loud banging at the door, and you heard someone saying, it's kind of like trying to open the door, banging at the door, goes, "Excuse me," and like trying to call through the door, saying, "Excuse me, I'm trying to get into the bed, please. Hello." Just like repeated hammering on the door. What would you do?
Who is it?
Uh, excuse me, I've rented a room here.
You rented a bed.
Yes,
How many beds are in this room? So there's
there are 4 beds in the room, and there are 4 of you. You rented 2 beds, 2 in this room, 2 in the next room.
okay. Sorry. This room's full. I think there's 2 beds next door.
You kind of hear this, just like deep sigh of like, "Oh, I don't need this shit," and then kind of like, "All right, fine."
That's going straight on his TripAdvisor.
Yeah, you hear the sounds of footsteps just kind of like padding away slowly, and the sound of the door next door just, and then sorry, that was almost Kill Bill, wasn't it? Yeah, you hear the door creaking open and then creaking shut, and you don't seem to be interrupted for the rest of the night. You gonna use one of the beds?
Yeah.
Cool, fine. You get in your long rest without any issue. And yes, you all come to consciousness in the morning, feeling very tired. It's about the time that Yaki wakes up. Sorry, you wake up feeling thoroughly exhausted. Are you going to try and go back to bed?
Yeah. What time? What time were we supposed to check out?
So you wake up at about 6 in the morning.
Hmm.
And it's funny because you wake up and you have this innate sense that you've woken up at 6 in the morning. And now that you start to think back on it, you realise that you can pretty much track the entirety of the events of last night, so you know exactly how long you were asleep for. Okay, that's interesting. The elements of your dreams are all still fuzzy. You can remember them, you can recall everything that happened, but it's a little bit fuzzy, even so, which seems a bit strange to you and kind of sets your teeth on edge slightly. But yes, you come to consciousness at 6 a.m. The the checkout is at 10.
Well, really, I would prefer to go back to sleep. So either I don't know. It depends what everyone else wants to do today. What state can I see? What state everyone else is in? Is Rose awake now?
They're all asleep. Rose is in a bed. sleeping.
Okay. Okay. I'm very tempted to just go downstairs and pay the man for another night, and then we can all just sleep in. No, no disagreement. Oh, you're all asleep. Okay, then I go downstairs and ask the man for.
Surprisingly, the man is not up. You go down to an empty tap room. Make a perception check.
15.
15. You can hear the sounds of hustle and bustle from one of the back rooms, but it's not. You can see that there's a door leading off to somewhere else, but it's not in the current room. So you can assume that there's someone up in that room, but they're not out here at the moment.
Oh, okay. Can I just poke my head round and see?
Yeah, you poke your head round and you find yourself in kind of like a kitchen area where a woman and two small children are kind of like scurrying around, fixing up breakfast spreads and things and putting them into the large oven that they have. And there's like a bubbling cauldron of something on the hob. She looks at us. Oh, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
We want to hire our room for an additional day. Can I pay you for that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Sorry, is this
Take out the silver.
okay? You hiring all 4 beds?
Yes.
Very good. Do you need us to come and change the sheets or anything? Or
That won't be necessary, thank you. Would it be okay for me to just take some of this food up now, and then you don't need to arrange any for later?
she can't. You look down at the raw dough she's got in her hands that she's been brewing. She looks around.
I look pointedly at the hot pot rather than the bread.
Well, okay. So it looks like that's not cooked yet. She looks. I don't have anything ready yet. I could prepare you something that's a bit older, like some yesterday's bread and cheeses, but it'll be a bit stale. Or I can bring some up later.
Okay. Sure. You can bring some up later, but if we don't answer the door, just if you could just leave it outside, that would be great.
Oh, very well. Yes, I'll bring some up later. So you pay the money and head back upstairs. You find yourself going back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going back to bed.
Okay. So let's see. Need to do some mathematics because my brain is slow.
You also for exhaustion, the DM said. The hell we do.
Indeed.
Just throw some money at the problem and it'll be fixed.
Indeed. So, right. So when are you sleeping until? Just from a narrative point of view, will say that you would know that it would be 2 p.m. would be when you would need to cure your long rest. Okay. So, Yaki, you come to consciousness, and Jack, you'd wake up in due course. You'd find the other two asleep in bed. You hear you would have heard perhaps a soft knocking on the door at an earlier point. I don't know if Jack, you might have wanted to get up for that, or if you're just ignoring the knocking.
I do my usual. Who is it?
I brought some food.
All right, then I'll come get it. And
Okay.
I like roll out of bed,
Okay.
in just my underwear and go to the door. Take the food and carry it back in.
Yeah, you see the woman from downstairs that you have not met before, but the same woman hands you a tray. She's got some warm bread, some kind of like dried cheese, and a few other more interesting bits and pieces, akin to fruit and the like. Basically, you've got the continental, and yeah, kind of hands you, and you take it inside.
Look down. You got bacon.
No, we don't have any bacon, I'm afraid. There'll be some cooked meat later. Good day, and she kind of like pulls the door shut. Yes, so you find yourself holding a tray of food, and yeah, you can eat your fill. Yaki, you would probably be roused by the scent of this. The fresh cooked bread smells quite delicious, actually. So yes, what would the two of you like to do with the 6 hours that you have until the other two wake up, unless you choose to wake them up?
Has Sorrow in any way left communication that she
Can't
is
stop
booked the
10
room
o'clock.
and is now going to be sleeping for 8 hours? But because otherwise,
I mean, sorry, didn't say anything, but also I'm not going to be that guy. Sorrow.
Well, I carry paper with me, obviously, because obviously I do. So I scrawled a note on it saying, "Got the room for another night. If you wake me up, I will kill you."
Can Jack look around and see if he actually finds this note, or is he too distracted by food?
Oh,
Sure,
no.
make a perception check.
Oh, these always go well with Jack.
I mean, this will guarantee me the one that works. So
12.
12. I mean, it's not exactly hard to find where. Well, actually, that's a good point. Sorry, where did you leave it? That will affect the DC.
I left it. Where would be an obvious place in the room? Just in the middle where we had been sat in the circle. Just in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, Jack, you kind of like you turn around with this tray. You have a look. There is very obviously a piece of paper on the floor with stuff written on it. I just need to double check something, and I really hope this doesn't open on the wrong page. Actually, I'll see if I can open it here. You go ahead. You go ahead. You find this piece of paper. No, not now. Come on. Oh, wait, hang on. No. In fact, I know. But for true. Yeah, you can't read it.
Is Yaki awake by this point?
Yaki. Yeah, you and Yaki are both awake.
Can Yaki read it?
Right, Yaki, you have a look. You cannot read it.
What do we do, Yaki?
had we been through that previously?
The only time when you've encountered any writing before, I believe, was Sorrow when she wrote something on the side of the road in Firebolt. But now you come to think of it, you assumed that it was some kind of arcane language that she'd used, because it would all look just like symbols to you. But now that you look at it on next to this piece of paper, it does look very similar to the kind of scratchings that she's etched out here in very fine handwriting.
Oh, I see. It's not written in common.
As far as it's not written in a language you recognise.
Uh,
Why did you leave us a note that we couldn't read?
Yes, Kirby, why did I leave them a note that they can't read?
That's a good
I feel
question.
like Zora would know we wouldn't be able to read, anything other than common.
But Sorrow usually communicates in common.
Sorrow does.
There's something happened to Sarah that we're not aware of at the minute.
I'm very confused as to what's going on.
Um, I decide, because I know how terrifying Zorro can be,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going to get dressed and go downstairs and ask for some salami.
Very well.
And
God damn it, chat! I will hurt you. Um,
ask, when I'm down there, ask the lovely lady, what time is checkout?
you head downstairs. Yaki, you leave Yaki poised in fear at the foot of both beds of Sorrow and Rose, and head downstairs to see the woman. She provides you with some slices of salami on a platter, artfully arranged, suggestively, because the chat seems to want that.
I was going to say, has she provided me with a couple of apples as well?
No, it's all salami. Though it's very artfully placed. Yeah, no aubergines. And she says, your friend came downstairs and asked to extend your stay another night. So she's already paid for that.
Is that the terrifying looking one?
I wouldn't want to say.
Okay, I take my salami upstairs and I'm munching it as I walk in the room and tell Yaki that we still got it.
Very well. Yes, you do so. The tap room downstairs was very quiet when you went down. However, it is already starting to fill up with people coming in for breakfast and things of that nature. So there is some food and bits going round. So you can hear there's like a low thrum from downstairs starting to happen. What would you like to do?
Ismark is awake.
Yeah, by this point you hear the sounds of people rousing next door.
The obvious question that comes to mind is that do we have a sense it was maybe a couple of hours ago that Sarah went and paid for the room from what the person said. So we probably got somewhere between 4 and 6 hours while these two sleep. How far away do you think your horse is?
How far away do I think my horse is?
Roll me a d20.
Four.
You have no clear idea. You think it's quite a way away. Like it's definitely in the miles and not in the meters. Put it that way, because those are two different systems of measurement. But apart from that, it's one versus the other. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Jack, you're eating very blue salami.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Fine.
Just thinking, I don't want to totally waste the day. If there's any easy things that we can do.
Average speed's 4 miles an hour. Good. Walk 8 miles. See if I find it. If I don't find it in 8 miles, I'll come back.
4 miles an hour is a fast walk.
Mm-hmm. 3 would probably be more of a realistic estimate.
Okay, well,
Even that's quite fast.
walk 6 miles towards the horse and see if I find it, and then come back.
Very well. Is that actually what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well
Right.
take the some of the bread and stuff with us, and
Do a little knapsack type thing. Right,
munch it as you go. Why not?
Well, I can
Righty-ho.
find a day's worth of rations while I'm going every day anyway, so it's fine.
They did leave us food, right?
Oh no, I took all the breakfast.
Yeah. So left half of it.
I was gonna say, otherwise it pops up like somewhere in your peripherals, like Sorrow and Rose will remember this.
Okay. So just double checking some stuff about what you're going to pass on the way out of town. Righty ho. So you begin to head outside. Jack, it is apparent straight away that the direction of your horse is not one that matches the main road. So you would need to go in a slightly different direction. But you know that you would need to go west as opposed to east. So you're just following the kind of like the main road. You can try and cut through some like houses and things and jump over a wall if you want to, but
I suggest we stick to main roads.
Stick to the main road for once. No pole vaulting. Yet.
very well. You make your way out of the town, past a couple of the better maintained shops, also surrounded by a number of houses. Again, some of them ramshackle, some of them not. As you make your way out, the largest building that you notice just before you reach the gates of Vallaki, there is a large church or abbey-like building with the symbol of the sun that you come to see occasionally hanging around Sorrow's neck on a medallion that seems to correspond. You keep making your way out along the main road. The signpost that you pass as you go reads the Old Svarlich Road. It takes about half an
Sorry,
hour.
the old what road?
Svarlich. Why? God, I don't want to know what you thought. Yeah, it takes you about half an hour to reach the actual edge of Vallaki itself, and then you continue walking down the Old Svarlich Road. As you pass, there is a single turning off to the left of the road. Make a perception check for me, Iaki specifically.
That'd be 16.
16. On the wind, you catch the sound of instruments and the smell of a campfire and kind of like burning campfires. Seemingly, there is a path to a campsite to the left, where music and gaiety occurs. Are you carrying on down the main
Gaiety?
road? Yes.
Sign me up.
Yeah, so are you continuing down the main road, or are you going to take the path off to the south? Jack, the sense of where your horse is essentially 45 degrees in between, so south, west. So it's very much up to you whether you want to keep going along the main road, or if you want to try this pathway off to the south.
Let's go south. I like walking south. Feels like I'm walking downhill.
You begin walking uphill.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. You begin walking south. The pathway wends and winds between the trees. And before long, you see the trees open up into a clearing, which is actually set on a slight hill. Not too bad, don't worry. However, you see a camp where a number of wagons are hitched, and there are several small huts kind of atop this mound, and you can see it kind of the path wends up the hill, but you can recognise these as very similar to the wagons of the Vistani that you found in the Tsur camp before.
Is there anyone around?
Yeah, you can see a couple of figures just like around and about. They don't seem to have noticed you at this point. You're kind of like just at the clearing where, at the edge of the clearing.
Yeah, I'll head over to the people stood around.
Okay, as you walk over, there are these kind of like three young men who have just been sat round a pot of kind of like they're cooking their breakfast porridge essentially for the camp. You see them kind of like notice you and stand up and walk over and say, "Ah, greeting, travellers. Can we help you?"
Hey, how's it going? We're just passing through.
Ah, see. Kind of like you see several of them take an interest in you, particularly Aki. Sort of, an elf. I see. Are you here to visit the elder?
Oh, they're in this direction. My friend's looking for a horse that is sort of vaguely in this direction, so we're scouting a little bit the area before we try and decide the best way to get there.
But I know exactly where my horse is. According to the deal with Granny Bones.
Yeah, as you both say this, you kind of see them look vaguely nervously at each other. The one at the front is kind of maintaining a brave face, but the two behind just kind of like give each other little side eyes, just go. Oh, I mean, and what makes you think that your horse is in this direction, noble sirs?
Feel it.
I see. Well, I can assure you that there are no horses here that do not belong to the Vistani.
Sorry, to clarify, well, I assume you don't think the horse isn't here. We know the horse isn't here. We're not accusing you of anything. More, it's sort of, I mean, it's further, kind of point vaguely southwestish. It's kind of, further off in that direction.
As you say that, there's like a visible sigh of relief, and they go, oh, thank God. Yes, we get accused of stealing rather a lot here. It's not to say that we don't on occasion liberate some goods from others, but it's one thing being outside the town, and then as soon as anything goes wrong, it was the Vistani and the elves, and you can see why we're a little cautious. I apologize.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Well, you're welcome here. Can we kind of like they start? They spoon like a warm bubbling liquid into two tin mugs for you and kind of like hand them over. So, and they start chatting around like, how can they help? And they give you like a brief layout of the camp. You understand that at the topmost hut of the hill there is a hut, obviously, in which resides the elder of Barovia's elves. And you learn through passing conversation that his name is Casimir. Apart from that, you learned that the two Vistani leaders, Luvash and Aragal, are both in camp at the moment and are in a foul mood and probably to be avoided. And you're pointed out that their caravans are kind of like in the densest population of Vistani caravans. And they say, I'd probably avoid them. They've been on a raging bender for the past 2 days. It's probably best to avoid. But you know your business best.
When you say a raging bender,
It is not quite blackout drunk for many hours. Yeah.
any particular reason they're doing that?
I do not know. They have not entrusted me with any knowledge, I'm afraid. We do
Fair enough.
seem to have rather few of us in camp than we normally do. A number of us have gone out on travels, but we have not been told why.
Fair enough. How does Casimir feel about, you know, uninvited people dropping in and saying hi?
Oh, a visitor such as yourself, I'm sure he would be glad to receive one. We do not get many elves in these parts, and when they do travel through, some of them make their way here and seek his blessing and just his knowledge on the land. So, you are not the first. I'm sure you won't be the last.
In which case, Jack, if it's, there's a slight detour, but might as well go say hi, have a chat.
Cool.
Mr. Jack. Just so you know, this clearing is a bit of an isolated one. If you were looking for your horse, I would recommend carrying along the main road. You say southwest. There are a couple of paths that lead southwest. There is the ruins of Perez. There is the Wizard of Wines. You can find both of those in more of a southwesterly direction, but you travel along the main road further along to find them. They're kind of like just chill. They're leaving you to go. They're just giving you a bit of advice.
Thanks for your help. What were your names?
I am Tito. This is Tremaine, and that's Michael over there.
Oh, it was very nice to meet you, Peter and Tremaine, and Michael over there.
Thank you, he says, writing furiously. Thank you. Good
Please
day.
note that canonically his name is Michael over there.
Michael over there, yeah. Very good. You make any way up the hill then?
Yep.
Good. You find yourself in front of like a circular stone hut that is not based in a tavern. Sorry, I'm just realising the old... There we go. You find yourself in front of a circular stone building with a ramshackle wooden door that seems to be
The
barely...
weather very quickly changed from tavern to thunderstorm.
It did. To be fair, there is almost always thunder going along in Barovia. It always seems to be just over the horizon, but there is always thunder present. However, yes, you find yourself in front of this very rough-looking door. You give a little knock on the door, and you hear this shuffling from within. Go, oh, yes, coming. And then in from the door, you see it swing open, and there is a very dark-skinned individual with almost pure white eyes stood in front of you. However, as opposed to your like bright white hair, he has both dark hair and eyebrows. One thing you notice from looking at him immediately is that where your ears are long and pointed, his seem to have actually been shorn off and almost like clipped. Hello.
Hi.
How? Come in. And he just kind of pulls open the door and offers you inside. You see that inside it's a very kind of like impoverished affair. There seems to be very few possessions. There's a little bunk at the back where he can sleep on. There's a place for him to cook, and apart from that, there's just like this little a little kind of mound table-y type thing where he's got a couple of possessions. You see like there's a little statue, and there's like a hairbrush and things like that. You know, a couple of meager possessions. Welcome, my kin. I am Casimir.
Nice to meet you, Casimir. I'm Yaki. This is, I guess, my friend Jack.
Nice to meet you, Master Jack. Please come in. Kind of like offers to the cot to you, and kind of like just props himself against the fire pit that's in the middle. So, what can I do for you today? You just dropping past to seek the blessings of the elders, or hey, did you have something?
Dropping past to find a horse, but we heard you were here, and I thought, well, it's always nice to meet, fellow kin,
Hmm.
and I assume you have some knowledge and wisdom of this place. I suspect this won't be a new tale to you, but I'm here with some people that we all found ourselves in Barovia with no memory of how we got here or anything of our lives before.
Yes, that.
We think it was probably that prick Strahd that did it.
Ah, it's always interesting. People come here and they all have different ideas about how they got here. Some people think it's the Vistani. Some think it's the Lord of the Land. Others think it's some other dark powers bringing them to this place, and that they're to be punished for something. It's always interesting to hear which tale they've been fed this time.
Do you know the truth?
Oh no, personally speaking, I think it's probably a mixture of several things, you know, as they tend to be. But unfortunately, I was here before all of these complications arose. I've been here a very long time. And you look at him, he seems elderly even for an elf. You'd guess he's well into his second century. Sorry, not second century, second millennium.
Oh, that is very old for an elf.
Yeah, he's like got full on arthritis in the hands, all that kind of signs you would not normally see in a species such as your own, or a race, depending on how you refer to it.
So, what can you tell us about this land? I mean, obviously, we've had the normal things about the Strahd and all that kind of stuff, but
Well,
I mean, the reality of the land is obviously there's clearly a lot of magic, right? There's a constant dusk and gloom, and
oh, that's that comes from him in the castle. That's the darkness. 'Twas not always so. It was a very long time ago, mind you. Basically, that occurred very soon after the land was enveloped in mist. But from my understanding, that's his effect. I don't even think he knows he's doing it. But it occurs. The mist itself, well, that's something else. That doesn't feel like his doing. He only showed up afterwards for a start. Well, that's not strictly true. But anyway, the land itself, you've probably seen most of it by now. You've got Barovia in the east, Vallaki here, then you've got Kresk in the west, and then, well, there used to be more villages, but time and Strahd does its work, and most of those villages are in ruins now. Then, let's see. Kind of struggles to think to himself for a little. There's Gargis in the south. There's a winery just near Kresk. I'm trying to think. There's much wilderness, but I wouldn't advise going there because it's rather dangerous.
I guess my interest is what would be the right way of putting it? There's more to this land than just the topography and the towns and the geography. There's clearly something fundamentally wrong with it. Strahd seems to be connected to it, but from what you're suggesting, that actually Strahd might not be the cause of it, but whatever caused the mist might have also caused Strahd in some sense.
Thing, yes, you're not wrong in your line of thinking. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the answers. I can tell you that my people were settled in this land for many, many thousands of years. We've lived here for a very long time. They used to call us the Dusk Elves because we would be most often out and about at the point between daylight and sunfall. He thinks about what he said and then he makes it sound right. You know what I mean. We were about at dusk.
You were about the dusk, that's why you called dusk elves.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
I'm
trying
with
to
you.
say in my fancy words. But there were always humans nearby, and at one time they weren't Strahd. But then, one day Strahd came along with his armies, and he took the land, town by town, till he ended up at that castle that he's so proud of. There was a battle. It wasn't very long. Everything was resolved within a couple of days, in all honesty. But then he went away for a while. He ruled the land, but then something happened. Everything went quiet, and then the land was enveloped in mist, and Strahd wasn't there. But about 50 years after the mists came, then there was Strahd again. Except he was different now. He was in his form as you've seen him, no doubt. His vampire.
He wasn't always a vampire.
Oh, no one's always a vampire.
Well, yes, fair point, but he didn't always rule as a vampire.
Oh, no. He was a man once. He was a conqueror, a very noble leader, they said. But of course, you would say that if someone conquered you, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, the people who would disagree with that aren't exactly alive to do so.
He kind of like thumbs his ears and goes,
I know what you mean.
I guess from our perspective, we're a group of people who've turned up with no memory of how we got here and probably no real way of leaving other than what Strada's told us. So either in some way dealing with Strahd is probably our most, likely course of action. Obviously, we have previously met some Vistani who have been able to make some suggestions. Is there anything that you would suggest?
I can give you a little advice here. Now, I'm sure you know that you're not the first people to be brought here, as we've already established. They all, in one way or another, thought to either live out their days in Barovia, replace Strahd, or destroy Strahd. And they've all died in one way or another. No one has ever succeeded in replacing him or living up to his standards. No one has ever defeated him. There have been times when he's gone away for a little while, but he always comes back. He is the land, or so they say. And, well, those who've tried to live and grow old in Barovia, I don't think I know of any that have lasted more than a year. You see, if you're not being entertaining, then he doesn't like to keep you around. So, well, Madam Eva, she knows this, and you're not the only group she's given a reading to. Anyone who stops by her camp that is made up of companions such as yourselves, they're all given a reading. And in a way, it's true, you've all got a chance. but it's... no one's done it so far. However, if I were you, and I were to seek a way to dethrone Strahd, one way or another, I mentioned a mountain, Mount Gargis, far to the south. Up there, there is an ancient temple, more ancient even than my people. It's a place of great evil, if there is such a thing. But it's also a place of great power. There's a weapon there that is capable, or at least so the legends go, of defeating Strahd. If you seek to dethrone him, I would recommend you go there. However, it is a deadly place, so best not go unprepared. If you choose to go there, I would be willing to accompany you. I may be old.
And you see as he says this, his hand kind of like part, and there's a brief like flimmer of white arcane light in between his fingers, and just kind of like arcs from one finger to the next.
But I still have some talents, of course. If you would rather go alone, I understand. We have just met after all, and I'm an old and frail elf.
Well, Casimir, I greatly appreciate your advice and your help. This is only two of us. There's a couple more who are sleeping
I assumed.
currently, so it's not an immediate thing for us to do, but I'll definitely let everyone know of your offer, and I mean, it may make sense for us to go there at some point. I mean, from what you say, we're either going to die here or we're going to succeed, and with that, so we might as well take it on at some point, because we either die in there or die the Strahd. We might as well give it a go. So we may well take you up on that offer.
Very well. I can always be found here. And I must say I appreciate your pragmatism.
Well, we should. I mean, I don't know what time it is, but I assume actually we probably should be heading back soon, Jack, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
It has been about 2 hours at this point. Though you could wander a little further if you wanted, but you do get the sense that it's not going to be nearby.
Yeah.
Do I know how far? Because I do technically know where it is.
So you do know how far. Not looking at a map or not counting a number of squares, I can't say exactly how far it is. You do know. You'd estimate it's probably more than a day's travel,
Yeah.
depending on how fast you went.
I relay that to Yaki.
Yeah, once you guys let's go back and unite.
See how they're feeling.
But very nice to meet you, Casimir.
It's nice to meet you too. Yaki.
Kind of stands, opens the door for you, and says,
I'll be waiting here if you need to take me up on my offer.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
"Very well." You return to the town.
Yeah.
Yep.
You make your way into the inn just as Sorrow and Rose are rising from their slumber, still with a point of exhaustion. It seems that this has not cured your exhaustion. You still feel very, very tired.
We got enough for another night.
It's the middle of the day. Like you've got the rest of the day. If you want to just chill in the tavern for a day, it's up to you.
Did they Jack said that he took all of the food, did he?
He
Is
did,
there no
yes.
food left? Okay, I go downstairs and procure some more food.
Very well. There's kind of like a little back and forth with the woman of the inn, and she when she hears of you what's happened, she kind of like prepares a plate for both of you and just kind of like hands over. Says, "Men, here, take it, no charge," and just kind of like hands you this curated plate of what looks like slightly nicer food than may have been left earlier, which you didn't see, but it's a nice looking plate.
I give her a nod and go back upstairs to Rose. And give her the food.
Thank you.
Very good. At about this point, Jack and Yaki arrive back in the inn.
Upstairs to see if Rose and Sarah are awake.
You find them eating heartily of a plate that has been left.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
I assume you read my message?
Nope. Well, I mean, we tried.
What do you mean you tried?
I pick up the note and hand it to Sarah.
Yep.
Yes, that's my message.
Not in common.
Looks like common to you, Sora.
Yes, it is.
I show it to Rose and go,
Rose, you can't read the message.
Sorrow, I can't read this.
Okay.
I do understand common, honestly.
Well, I can tell that because you're
I'm talking, yeah.
speaking it to me, as you all have been. Somebody else write something.
I write something. Literally, the word something.
Okay. You see the words written out in a form of language that you don't understand.
What is this shit?
Can everyone else read what I wrote, or is it just Sarah that can't?
No, none of them can.
No.
Okay, I'm
going to try writing
understanding it more
something
now.
because a part of me thinks that it might just be that Jack is bad at writing. Admittedly, Yaki's not great at writing, but is like probably better at writing than Jack.
Okay, what do you write? Just the word something.
Yeah, I'm just going to write a few random words like something, bread, hello, this is common.
Okay. Sorrow and Jack, you see a series of unrecognizable symbols. Rose, however, you can read bread, hello, something.
Oh, see, I can read that one.
Yeah.
I can read that one.
You can?
Yeah. Yeah, that says bread. That says something. That says
Okay.
this is common. Wait, can I read this is common or not?
Yeah, it looks like common to you.
Yeah.
I am going to
Wait,
try writing
What if you try writing something,
in the
Rose?
languages that I know.
Sure. God, I'm gonna look. What language are you picking?
Well, I also know Draconic and Primordial, so I'm going to write in both of those.
Okay. Can anyone read either of those languages?
Oh,
Okay, no one can read any of those.
I can write in common, celestial, and infernal. Can I try those?
Yep. Can anyone read any of those?
well, I can read common and
I
celestial.
can read Common.
Okay. Yep. Yaki, you can read the ones that you can read of Rose. Jack, what can you write?
I can write in Common, Orcish, and Abyssal.
Anyone?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. Well, there you are in terms of languages that people can read and what. Oh, Miyaki, did you have any others? Or you all good? Sorry, I just skipped you.
Oh, I mean, I can write. I might as well join the party and write some in Elvish Celestial.
Okay. Rose, you can read the Celestial. Anyone else for Elvish? Cool. You can. None of you read any of the things, including Common, except for Rose and Yaki, who can both read
The
Common.
Elvish obviously says "speak, friend, and enter."
Obviously.
Okay. This.
Do we go ask people downstairs what they can read?
Is
Maybe
it
we
just
should park this languages mystery for a second, although it's quite interesting.
I draw a picture of myself bopping Strahd on the head and ask them if they can all understand what that is.
Make a performance check.
I was going to say, how good is Sorrow?
Or you feel free to make a dexterity sleight of hand if you prefer.
Okay, I don't know which of those is better. Let's have a look. Yeah, definitely sleight of hand.
Okay.
Uh, 12.
12. It's quite cartoony, but it's apt.
It's stick figure me, and it's a stick figure talking on a landline so that they know it's Boomer Strahd.
Yeah, the little curly tail from the phone just gives it away. It's beautiful.
Incredible. Yes, you can understand Jory's.
Oh, let's play Pictionary.
I wonder if we can understand each other's writing because we both speak Celestial. I don't know why that would be the case, though.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
And it's
Are there not
interesting if we
books
can
here?
borrow
What?
someone. Oh, in fact, if Irina and Ismark, or we've just left Gertruda,
Yeah, Irina's like my
Somewhere.
bestie now.
so
I think she
we
can
get
come
one.
over.
Just see what they make for this. The other thing is, we met the elf elder who's around. Me and Jack went for a walk. I managed to not get annoyed or kill Jack, so doing well.
Yaki's never got annoyed like once. Like
Fair
on
point.
the list of annoyed characters in this campaign, Yaki's like down here.
I proceed to, obviously recount the key details of what he told us.
Yep, absolutely fine.
I'm really struggling to visualize it. Can you do his how did he sound? Can you do his voice?
And I do his voice. I mean, no, but it sounded something like this. I'm an old man.
Is that what he said? I'm an old
Old elf.
Oh yeah, old elf.
It's alright, I can be a man too.
That was mean. I liked Casimir.
He was called Casimir. That's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah, and he offered to help as well.
Oh, cool.
I get the sense that he's a little bit done with Strahd shit, so
Nice.
always
I like
nice
him.
to have more allies.
I trust your judgment on Casimir the friend.
Oh.
Can I go check next door to see if either Ismark, Arena, or Gertruda are
So
around?
it's
Or
about 2
look
p.m.
downstairs.
You look next door, and actually none of them are about. You go and ask downstairs, and it seems that Ismark and Irina both left early in the morning to petition the Burgermeister for an audience. And Gertruda, it seems, didn't go to bed, just kind of stay downstairs, and has not been seen since.
Oh, shit. We left an unaccompanied minor downstairs in a pub and all got high upstairs.
Yep.
I sure am glad that I wasn't the one who promised to get her back to her mother.
Oh, shit. Um, can I can I see if I could figure out anywhere she may have gone?
How would you like to do that, Jack? Like, what is it that you're trying to do in order to track this young girl?
Um, I ask if anyone has a dog.
Okay. You just walking around saying, "Do you have a dog?"
Yeah.
All right. Charisma persuasion check.
How many hours was it you spent with Jack and you didn't get angry?
Oh, well, that's not bad.
It gets more impressive the more you think about it.
It's charisma persuasion. Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I got a 16.
All right.
A.
You
Don't know why
wander.
that's an A. Sorry.
You wander around, and to be honest, most of the people that are in the pub or the inn at this time of the day have come in for like a lunchtime meal and a drink. And they seem to mostly be villagers or townsfolk who work in the near vicinity. And you kind of like meet a guy who goes, "Yeah, I've got a dog."
Is it a good sniffer dog?
It's kind of like a bloodhound type thing.
Sounds like a good sniffer dog to me.
Oh, or if you say so.
Can I borrow it?
No,
Well, do you want to come with me and we'll do a job?
no, I've got to get back to work.
If you've got a wife at home who can help me with the dog.
Oh god.
I'll be honest, my friend. When you rolled a 16 by persuasion, I thought you might have done rather better than this. No,
A young girl was in this pub last night, and
you're
she
not
was left.
selling me on anything here. Continue.
I was left in charge of looking after her and making sure she gets back to her mother.
Right.
My friends over there unfortunately went upstairs to eat some pies. I went up to keep an eye on them, and I thought she followed us. Didn't think that she didn't follow us when we were in the room, and she's not here. She's gone missing.
You don't say.
And I kind of promised her
You're
mum
not a
I'd look
parent,
after.
are you?
No.
That's good. Look, I'll be honest. I'm not lending you Boris the dog. I'm not coming with you, and my wife's not coming with you either. But I wish you all the best in finding your little girl.
I grab him and slam him against the wall.
Okay. Make an athletics
Sake,
check.
Jack.
$15.
He actually just kind of like, you go to slam him against the wall, and your hand gets around, like grips his thing, and you see him just whomp, and this very meaty forearm just kind of like thwomps you away, and he kicks you in the nuts. Not enough to do any damage, but just kind of like enough to go. Whoo! And he's kind of like pushes you back and goes, "All right, fella, I'm here to have some lunch. Now, if you don't leave me alone, I'm gonna go get the guards. See?"
You're a fucking piece of shit.
Well, I didn't leave my little girl unattended for 24 hours, you prick.
Imagine the fact that Sora's sat there eating his cannon in the pub.
Yeah, Yaki's just pissed themselves laughing at
Yeah.
this. There was a brief moment when Jack went to like slam against the wall that he was a bit like, oh fuck, and like started to get up in case Jack was actually successful. And as soon as the guy like battered Jack away, just regained the seat and carried on enjoying the show.
I'm gonna go outside and start seeing if I can see any child-sized footprints going up in a direction.
Fair enough. Yaki,
She's
make me a quick-
15.
Yeah,
Not gonna be like fucking a little.
Yaki, make me a quick perception check while this is all going on. Jack, you go ahead and make me a
11.
Okay, that's fine. Make me a quick perception check yourself while you're going out and looking. Or you can make it survival if you'd like to, for tracking.
19.
19. You can see no such footsteps on this cobble road. There is mud everywhere, but it's kind of like being all trounced through by people passing through. This seems to be the main thoroughfare, or thoroughfare, or however you're going to say it, for the town. Like you're at a crossroads, everyone comes through here, and it's all been just slushed away. I will say, just as a quick thing, does anyone need a break? We're probably going to stop quite soon, but does anyone need a break, or can you all hold on till the end?
I'm good, personally.
Yeah, I can hold on.
Cool. Okay. Very good. Jack, as you're looking around the streets, what you do see is Ismark and Arena both walking up towards the inn itself. They say, hello, Jack. What are you doing?
We got a situation.
Oh?
You remember Gertruda?
Yes.
She's missing.
Oh. Any idea where she's gone?
No. And the guy I know won't let me borrow his dog.
Kind of just looks at you vaguely, strangely at that. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Have you spoken to the town guard or anyone?
No.
That'd probably be a good idea to start with.
Alright, I'll go up to the nearest guard and tell them.
Okay. Ismark and Arena head inside and see the rest of you and say, "Oh." Irina sits down and says, "Oh, it's good news. The Burgermeisters has agreed to see us tomorrow evening. I mentioned that we were travelling with all of you. He extended his invitation to you in case you want to attend as well. Otherwise, Ismark and I'll go on our own." She just kind of sits down and starts ladling a bowl of hearty minestrone soup into her face.
She's eating it with a ladle.
Ladling with a spoon. The act of ladling, as in to move something in a curve.
She's very dramatically eating soup.
She's very dramatically eating soup. She seems in a good
I
mood.
assume canonically she's just getting a big ladle and just dipping it in and just...
Yeah, it's actually her speciality weapon. It's a ladle.
I would have known that because we spend a lot of time being
You
besties.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, this is classic Arena.
Yeah, no, you know that she actually is quite an accomplished fighter and fights with a rapier.
And a ladle sometimes.
A dagger that looks like a ladle, yes.
Yeah, it's like double-sided.
It's like a
utility.
cane sword, but instead of a cane, it's a ladle and the handle pulls out and it's a dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry, we got distracted. I got out the piece of paper that I'd written on earlier that we'd grabbed to go and find someone to read before we got distracted with Gertrude going missing. I pass it to Arena.
And looks at it and goes, "What's this?"
What does it look like?
It looks like a language I can't read.
No, thanks.
Okay. She looks kind of confused, hands the paper back. Jack, while all of this is going on, you approach a guard. They're kind of there's a guard every now and again. They're not too hard to spot, but you can see them. They all seem to be wearing a similar outfit. They have this kind of long spear that's got a hook on the end for a lantern, but then ends in a spear point. And they've all kind of got this similar, like the curved Viking helm almost type thing, but without the horns, obviously. Turns around and goes, missing child. You should probably report that at the office. And he kind of like leads you, or offers to lead you to the City Watch office. You find yourself filling in a missing persons report. Or at least someone assists you in filling in a missing persons report because they can't read your writing. However, you can read theirs, so that's interesting. You are assured by the sergeant on duty that they will do their best to investigate for this missing person and will send a search throughout the city. But it's been 12 hours and you should probably give up hope. Overall, he seems quite dispirited and quite dour in his mood. So yes.
Okay, I'll go back to the tavern and tell everyone.
Very good. Okay. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Yes.
What? What would you like to do?
Well, I have a scroll that I would like to be copying down at some point, and also I saw an interesting looking wagon on the walk in that I might like to wander back and have a look at.
Very good. Okay. Copying things. So one thing we need to work out is how much ink you have in your inventory, because you need very specific like inks and parchments in your possession in order to be able to do that. And you'd have some, but it's not clear how much. So do you want to roll me a D100?
Are you going to tell me how I do that?
Yeah, it's so. Oh, hang on. Do you have a D100?
Well, no.
It's like the little D10s, but with the numbers on, with the 2 numbers on. Sorry.
Oh, no, but I have a D10 and that would do the same job.
Yeah, to roll a D10 twice. So the first one
Okay.
is the big number.
It's one of my dice that has the blood splatters on it and I can't read the number.
Okay.
7.
7. Okay.
And a 4.
You have 74 golds worth of precious inks about your person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'll need to look at whatever the. So it's a 2nd level spell, is it?
Let's have a look because it is in my inventory.
I tell you what, we can come back to this afterwards. We can say that you've done some copying towards spells and things, but we'll need to have a look at what your specific wizard stuff is for copying down a spell, because each wizard is slightly different. So we'll look at that after the stream. You can say you've done some work towards it. It'll take you a number of hours equal to the level of the spell. So it's going to take you at least 2 hours to copy down the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In terms of wandering to the stockyard, we can certainly do that. Who is going to the stockyard? Very good. Excellent. Would you all like to go to the stockyard, or would Yaki and Rose like to do something else?
What was at the stockyard again?
There was a colourful wagon.
Oh, yes.
Yes, also yes.
Excellent. You mosey your way out of the inn and down towards the far end of town. It is around this area. Let's just see. Can everyone just quickly make me a perception check, please?
7.
14.
8.
15.
Okay. Let's see. Jack and Rose, it's you to whom you find the flyers sticking to your feet. Both of you notice that there is kind of like a flyer underfoot in one of the drier parts of town that seems to just stick to your foot. Are you doing anything with it? Are you going to read it, or are you going to leave it?
Pick it up and
I'm
read it.
gonna try and read it.
Okay. Yes, you can read it with ease. It is a very small one of those folded pamphlets that gets folded into 3. And it seems to be entitled The Devil You Know. Pouring through it a little bit, you read what seems to be a pamphlet that seems to be in support of the rule of Strahd, saying that he is kind of like a stable ruler, that he is, largely speaking, just, and that he's, generally speaking, on the side of the people of Barovia. And it's kind of like more delicately put than that, but those are the broad strokes of the things that you take away from the pamphlet. And it seems to be signed by the Loyalist Society rather than an individual. Anyway, as you carry on, you find yourself outside the stockyard. It is largely abandoned at the moment. Seems that there's kind of like a small office to the side. Within the stockyard itself, there is a couple of stalls where horses are kind of feeding and just being cared for. The wagon itself is out and unattended to in the back right-hand corner of the stockyard. And yeah, there look to be a number of other things like supplies and things that this place offers. You know, tack and feed, that kind of thing.
Does it look like it's this that we're allowed to just wander into it?
Generally speaking, yes. It looks like the entrance to the office of the stockyard is within the courtyard itself.
Okay. But there aren't any like official-looking people around.
Not from what you can see, no.
Okay. I want to get a closer look at the wagon and just see if there's maybe anything interesting about it.
Mm-hmm. Are you going up close, or are you looking from a distance?
How far away is it from me?
About 20, 30 feet, maybe?
Okay. In that case, I might actually use some of the magic that I have. I am going to... I still have my spider with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to... I'm going to cast Mage Hand, and the hand is going to take my spider over there.
Yeah, sure.
And plop him on the side of the wagon.
Okay.
So that he can look for a little way in to see if he can see what's inside.
Okay, do you have the stats for a spider there?
No, Kirby, I do not have the stats for a spider.
Just checking.
Do
Right.
you have the stats for a spider?
Yes. Right, let me search. Spider.
It's got like 1,000 HP. It's got 30 dex. It's fine. It's super proficient in stealth and finding ways in.
It's got special eyes as well. It
Dark
can
vision.
Good.
Spider climb.
Oh yeah, if it's doing a perception, you roll for each eye that it has.
That's right, yeah.
It can do
Uh,
blink because it moves.
Yeah,
without
roll a
you seeing.
d20. Oh, hang on. Yes, roll a d20, please.
$13.
13. The rest of you can't really see it because it's a big spider, but it's also not that big. You see this spider get plopped onto the side, and you just see it kind of like. Sorry, you notice that it just meanders up, down, kind of like round and about, trying to find a way in. You get the sense that it might not be too good at searching for things.
Okay, then in that case, I talk to it with my mind, and presumably I can see with my eyes where there is a door or a flap for the wagon.
So from where you are, the wagon is facing out. There's like a driver's seat at the front and a full board. It's kind of like a curved top of this wagon that seems to be almost tiled, like it's like almost like a portable house. But it's that kind of like semi-permanent tile. You can see down the side, and you can't see the back of it, but there are no doors or windows on either of the bits of this wagon that you can see.
But there's probably a door at the back, otherwise how does anybody get in it?
Yeah, probably. But you
Okay,
can't see the door.
Well, that's okay. I am going to tell the spider to go towards the back of the wagon.
Okay.
And then when it gets to the back of the wagon, which I assume I'll be able to see when it gets to the corner.
Are you looking through its senses?
Not right now, but I'm going to in a second.
Okay. Sure.
So it's at the back. It's at the back of the wagon now, and then I shall look through its eyes, expecting to be able to see the crack of a door.
Okay. Make a perception check. Roll a d20 and add nothing.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20. Yeah, okay. You can see that there is basically a very small slit at the top of the door that's kind of got two metal bars. It's a very, very small slit. Probably about the size of a post box that you can see from where you are on the side of a wall that your spider could crawl through with ease.
Yes, the spider. I am driving the spider.
Okay, you drive the spider into the thing. It's pitch black within the wagon. I'm trying to think. Can spiders smell? No, they can see. Who's got dark vision? Yeah, okay. You can see within the wagon that it is. It's very hard to make out any details, but you can see that the floor of the wagon is coated with hay and straw and things of that kind of nature. We'll say that the spiders can smell, because why not? But you can taste this kind of very pungent smell on the air of animal fecal matter and things of that nature. There seems to be something curled up in the straw. Probably about the full length, almost the full length of the wagon itself, which is about. You'd guess the space inside is about 10 to 15, not quite 15 feet. That's a bit much, but maybe like 12 to 15 feet is the internal space of this wagon.
Bloody big wagon.
Not really. Like it's like a small caravan type thing. Two people length isn't that much.
Okay. So either this is some kind of animal that's been abandoned there, or it's a person who's just chilling in the hay and the animal poop.
It does look too big for a person.
It's too big for a person.
For like a person, for example, a D&D player race, it was too big for that. It's bigger than 6
Right.
foot.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know what I make of this, so I'm going to. The spider's going to come back out. I'm driving the spider back out and then round to the other side where my mage hand can collect it, and I will return to my own senses and tell the others that there's a large something in that caravan.
Very well.
It's bigger than a person.
What would the rest of you like to do?
Army wants to find out what's in there.
Yeah, I kind of want to go and look
I
closer.
mean, my question was going to be: is it worth trying to find out?
There must be a reason why it's in there. If it's an animal, then someone would need to come back to it to take care of it. And if it's not an animal, then what is it? And is there a reason why it's locked in there?
Can I walk into the office and see if there's anything in there?
Yeah, you head over to the door on the left, and there is a man behind the desk who's kind of just leaning there lazily, looks up and goes, "Ah, hello.
Nice carriage you got out there.
Thank you."
Can I hire it?
No. It is not my caravan. It belongs to something else. So, wow, I'm trying to do German and I came out Japanese. I do apologize. Yeah, it went really bad. It's purely based on the fact that this guy's name is Gunther. Yeah. I'm very sorry for my offensive accent. That was again meant to be German. I give up. This guy's just going to speak like a regular, like myself. Hi, yeah, no, you can't hire the wagon. Someone else has left it here. They've paid for parking. It's not for sale or for hire. Can I help you with anything else though? We've got basic supplies.
No.
Okay
Go
then.
back out.
Bye. You hear as the door shuts behind you.
I sneak around the back of the office, see if there's a secret way in, because I want to try and basically see what's in the back office and see if there's a record.
Okay, so essentially you're in what's like this square. So to get around the back of the office, you'd have to go out into the main street, round the corner, and then kind of like into one of the back alleys there. Is that what you want to do?
No, I'm gonna try something else. I'm because I can get around the side of the office, right? Like away out of view of the door.
So you go out the door, okay, yeah, and you want to go out of view.
I walk up to everyone and I tell them if we can make a loud noise that it's not obvious that it's us. Guy in there comes out to investigate. We run inside and have a look through his records. And if you think he's gonna be a problem, we tie him up when he comes outside.
Might we not draw other people's attention though if we make a loud noise?
I don't want to say this is a bad plan, but I can't think of a single detail that I like about it.
Well, how about we just get the horses a bit pent up and he comes out to see them?
Please leave the horse alone.
Is there horses? I'm confused.
There are horses, but they're in a separate part. They're not like attached to the wagon or anything. You can see that there are a couple just like in a stable off to the sides. It's not part of the same square, but it's nearby.
I could put him to sleep.
Work?
Sorrow, is it with the spell sleep? You have to tell us if it isn't.
Yes, it's with the spell sleep.
Oh, okay. It's not you gonna put him to sleep.
I mean, if I try and put him to sleep and it doesn't work, then I can always put him to sleep. Okay, I want to put him to sleep.
Okay. Roll.
No objections. I put him to sleep.
Roll whatever you need to roll. So it's
I'm
like
gonna have to look at
5d8.
this because I have not done sleep before. This is new. Yeah, 5d8. Where's my d8? Okay, someone's gonna have to count this up. 3, 5, 8, 7, and 4.
28.
29.
27.
I swear it's 28.
3 plus 5 is
18.
8.
You're on 18, then you got a 7, then a 4.
Never on 18, was it?
It
It
was
was
8 and
3.
8 is 16.
Yeah, 8 and 8 is 16. Plus 7 is 23. Plus 4 is 27.
I'm confused.
My brother says it was
Just out of
27.
interest,
It
is
was
the
let's
target's
say
HP
27.
less than 27?
Yes!
If it is, then it is kind of
It
irrelevant.
is at something of a moot point.
which
Kirby, you
number it
could
is.
have intervened there.
I could have, but I
couldn't you?
didn't want to. Story of my life. Yes, you hear a sound from within as Gunther, the very English, not a German, slumps against the desk and kind of like just falls down asleep.
At that point, I break in through the door and tie him to a chair and gag him in case he wakes up.
That would wake someone up, wouldn't it?
That
Now, I'm not speaking. I'm just saying that if somebody was asleep and you tried to put a gag on them,
Can you just go in and do the thing? Because you've got a minute. Just go. Just
it's fine. This is deliberation. It's not part of the time. Okay. You
No, it's only if someone tries to shake him awake.
He's
Or
gonna
if-
wake
or if he takes damage.
because he wakes. He's gonna wake up after a minute.
Yeah, get on
So-
with it.
Yeah, I burst in through the door.
okay? Slight hand check,
Time.
please. I was going to say, you burst in through the door, pull out that rope, 50 foot of rope that you've always got on you at all times. Go on.
Like a lasso.
Yeah, of course. Just round the chest constantly.
50 foot of rope is not as much as you think it is.
I
I imagine.
18.
30 foot of rope would be 2 boss links and a little bit. So use that for context. So maybe, sorry, what was that, an 18?
Yeah.
Okay. You tie him to the chair dexterously, fuck's sake. You tie him well to the chair. You don't expect him to escape anytime soon.
He'll gag him just so he can't scream when he wakes up.
Very well. Okay.
Do you have a knotted handkerchief?
Dexterously. No. Dexterously.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what would you gag
Dexterously.
him
There
with?
we go.
I have. Let's just find some like paper or something around on his desk and shove it in his mouth.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Um, 19.
You find some paper on his desk, shove it in his mouth.
I make sure that the paper is like not stuff that I want to look at first. Like-
Yeah, no, I assumed as much. That would have been the natural one. Yeah, he's gagged with paper.
It's just like it'll do for a bit.
Okay.
And yeah, now I like wave over him like we need to find his records.
Cool. As you wave him in, you see him start to come to consciousness, and then look at you, and then just starts like trying to stamp his feet against the floor.
I start warming up a firebolt and just shake my head at him.
You make an intimidation check. You can use your intelligence instead of charisma if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you're using your brain and your magic powers. I'd say that's fair enough.
Okay. In that case, it would be. Oh, good grief. Sorry, D&D or D&D Beyond already adds on the proficiency and all of that stuff. So now I'm trying to take things off and then add them back on again.
Are you proficient?
Yes.
+8.
Oh, okay. In that case, it's 18.
Okay. You see him kind of like very quickly slow down and stop. I mean, just kind of like he's glaring at you. He's not. He's stopping what he's doing. He's not cowed as such, but he's kind of certainly not an idiot. So he just stops and remains still, kind of like semi-glaring, semi-worried.
I like take the chair and lie on its back, so he can't actually do anything because his legs are now in the air.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Never mind.
And start rooting through his office looking for his
Yes.
ledger.
I would like to look through his papers and things.
Okay. Yeah. Is everyone doing this, or is it just you two?
No, I'm watching.
I might as well give a hand.
Okay. Group investigation check, please.
I will hold his legs to the chair because you didn't mention tying his legs to the chair, and that's not how physics works.
Yep. That's good thinking, Rose.
I'm IRL proficient.
Well, I only got a 6, so I didn't do a very good job of help.
Oh, I dropped my dice.
I got 16.
I got 2.
2, 16. Sorry, what do Yaki get?
6.
6. Okay. You search through. How you're flipping through. There's lots of pages. There's ins and outs, and sorry, you're very proficient at being able to work through lots of volumes of data. However, Jack and Yaki, this is not so much your forte. So you're kind of like flipping through, trying to urgently read through all of this stuff and kind of see if it's relevant or not in what's hopefully a short amount of time. However, it's probably at this point that Rose, you kind of hear like a muffled noise coming from outside. Sounds very urgent. Kind of coming through the floorboards. Yeah.
Through the floorboards.
Mm-hmm. As in from upstairs. Probably should put on some more dramatic music than this.
Wait, are we down? Wait.
Yeah,
hang on.
you're on the ground floor.
Where's the noise is the tied up man?
No, the noise is coming from upstairs.
Okay. There's the noise. I am deeply confused. I'm very tired. I don't know if I've mentioned. I'm super tired today. All I'm thinking about is pastries, and there's noises.
Did we find anything yet?
No, you found nothing. This is what you've heard up until this point.
And have a look around if there's stairs up.
And there is a door that leads into another part of the building. You open you open the door and you can see that there's kind of like more of a there's a corridor that leads with another door and a set of stairs that basically goes up right there.
With some degree of stealth, I would like to proceed up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Make a stealth check, please.
16.
Okay. Yeah. You very stealthily head up the stairs. Upstairs, it seems to be more of like a kind of like a homestead setup. There is like a small stove for cooking food, and you can see that there's a door that kind of there's room for sitting and eating and things, and then there's also a room off to the back that looks like it leads to possibly a bedroom or something. And it was as you headed up the stairs, it was through this that you sounded like you heard some noise, but then it started getting fainter. On mute.
Muted.
Good point. Can I see if I can go through the door?
Yeah. Are you doing it quietly or just?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to doing
Okay.
it quietly.
You very slowly open the door, and as you open it, you see that there is a double bed, and from the double
Have
bed,
I just walked in on...
no,
Oh, no.
from what you've seen, there are some sheets tied to the end of the double bed that lead out of a window onto the main street.
Can I see anyone running away?
Yeah, you look out the window, and there's a woman running down the street, shouting quite loudly. You can see that there is a guard that she is running towards, who is turning to look at her.
Can I disguise myself as Sarah, please?
Yes. You. In fact, the rest of you probably won't have seen this before, but you see Rose, just her form shift and change into the kind of the very ropey and lithe figure of Sarah, the hunter that you met previously. Her hair staying the same color, but kind of like magically forming into some kind of like braid that goes down the side of her shoulder. And yeah, though remaining in the same clothes.
I would like to follow down the makeshift rope.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite chase after. Essentially, I'd want to kind of overhear what she's reporting to the guards when she gets there.
Okay. It's very easy to shimmy down the rope. It's not exactly a long drop, and you just kind of like shuffle down the sheets. Just make me one last stealth check, please, for your climb down.
11.
Okay. You slide down the sheets, and you're relatively certain that you've not been seen. Excuse me. As you start walking down the street towards them, you get a couple of feet before you start to hear this guard ringing a handbell, doo-ding, 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 and you see him kind of like turn and start to run in the general direction of the stockyard. Are you continuing to walk towards, or are you gonna walk away now?
I would like to go back into the office and strongly suggest to the rest of them that we might want to either hide or leave.
We leave him tied up.
As long as no one knows it's us, it's fine.
Or well, Why?
Well, the person upstairs escaped, and then they went to a guard, and now the guard's heading this way. Probably not a good
Escaped?
look for us if
So they were captive.
sound like it.
So
Um,
sure.
I'm gonna quickly cram the other half of my pastry into this man's mouth. Um, yeah, pie, pastry, pie.
Pie is a pastry, to be fair, isn't it?
No, I was saying why. Why are you
Oh,
getting rid of our good drugs?
because he's gonna. I'm so sorry, Yaki, but if he is insensate, it will help us.
We have like nearly a whole one left that's mine. It's fine. We can totally do another trip.
You hear the sound of a whistle from close by outside. Sorry, do you want to roll me a d4, please, and add 4?
Just grab a drink quickly, if that's all right.
7 altogether.
Okay.
And then I want to, like, if I think that they're coming towards the front door, then I probably want to either go upstairs and try and get out that way, or
Yeah, it does sound like they're coming towards the front door. There seems to be only one entrance into the yard that you're aware of, though Yaki has mentioned there's an upstairs window.
okay. Well, then if I can get upstairs,
Yaki,
And-
you're on mute.
We're all gonna comically run upstairs and then climb down the bedsheet rope.
Okay,
while the Kenny Everett music plays.
Yeah.
very well. Yeah, okay. You get upstairs and look out the window. You can see that there are guards amassing in the street. There's kind of like there are about 4 of them at the moment, and you see this woman's kind of like thing, and then points up to the window where you're currently like peeking out of, and you see them kind of like, and they all kind of like gather their spears and seem to be readying to come and investigate.
Are you saying that they've seen us in the window?
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
what you're saying?
I'm assuming you were trying to not just stick your head out of a window. So I've just
Yeah.
like that, but you've seen them kind of like. You've seen her go, I climbed out a window and then came down the road. That's you can see that that's what she's gesturing very emphatically.
Okay.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Does the door to upstairs lock?
You look at it. It does seem to have a keyhole of some kind.
But not with a key in it.
Not at the moment, it seems.
Okay. Is there any? Does the door open inwards?
Yes.
I guess we could. I don't know. Is there any point barricading it? I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, you with your mega brain, you know you could just shift the bed across slightly to the right and it would bar the door at least a little.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that then.
Cool. Between the 4 of you, it's not too hard to move the bed across. And... Gone.
I don't want to barricade myself in the room. I'm trying to weigh up how I can plausibly have been around, but not me, Sarah, and heard the commotion.
Okay.
Is there a way of me to get in back into the stockyard without being seen going out of the building?
There's one entrance from the office that you're in into the stockyard. You might be able to climb out of a window or something, but like that's the main door entrance, unless you've got a way of like moving through a wall or opening a window, jumping down. For the most part, that's kind of it.
Okay, is there anything in the office, like that ground floor office, that I can kind of hide behind?
Not really. There was the desk, there was the doorway that led to the back room. There's a kind of the corner of the room which had a couple of supplies in. Maybe you'd try and hide under the supplies. Like it's quite heavy, but
I mean, the guy in the chair's kind of on his back, so he's not exact. His vision's been somewhat obscured, hasn't it?
To a degree, like he can still roll his head around. He saw you, put it that way.
Did he see me change though?
And I mean, unless you moved away specifically to do so, because he basically just has to look up to be able to see most of the room.
Okay.
He's behind the counter essentially, so he can see most of the room, except for what is behind the counter, in front of the counter.
So if I had changed into Sarah on the other side of the counter, he wouldn't have seen me.
He might not have seen you, depending on where, what, and why. We'll see. It's less likely that he would have seen you.
I mean, he's also out of his head on drugs, so I'm just kind of gonna stand near the counter.
Okay, so you're going back downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Jack probably wouldn't have gone upstairs because what Jack is thinking, knowing this is happening, having been told by Yaki, is thinking, okay, yes, it's going to look bad. The police walking in here and we've got a man tied to a chair. But the woman would know that this is the guy in the chair that probably tied her up in that room. And we heard the commotion and came in and apprehended him.
That's fine. Yep, absolutely fine. Okay, you both are downstairs. Rose, you changed behind the counter, so you hope to have been obscured from view. Jack, you're stood there just near the guy, or waiting for anything specific.
I've stood the chair back up.
Very well. Okay.
So at least they will see him when they come in.
Okay.
And I'm just stood against the wall behind the chair.
I would like to draw my crossbow.
Okay.
I'm not because I'm going to shoot anyone. I just want to have it in my hand.
That's absolutely fine. So, Sorrow and Yaki.
I believe I've got a crossbow. I think I have a crossbow.
I assume so. Sorrow and Yaki, you're going to presumably climb down the bed sheets when people aren't looking, and the other two of you are going to stand there. Very good. Well, we've gone slightly over time, so I think that's where we're going to have to leave it for today. We shall rejoin here soon, at which point we can resume this chaos. So, yeah, that took a turn. Right, okay, yes, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. As always, I have been Kirby Rawstorn, charity stream under the organisation Roll Together, currently raising money for the LGBT Foundation. There will be a link in chat should you wish to make a donation. If you do, it'd be very generous of you. If not, it's not required. Completely understand. Right, bloody hell. Yes. With me tonight, I have had some lovely people. Again, in the same order that we went in earlier, would you like to announce yourselves?
Hello, it was me first. I'm back again. I'm Nummy Numbers, and I am 1/3 of Twitch's foremost shit FMV game streamers, Booty Squad. You can watch our ridiculous antics, usually on a Wednesday or Thursday evening. It's me and the lovely Joanna Wanna and the lovely, albeit horse-punching, Lazy Jane. And we would love to see you if you like silly, sweary nonsense. Thank you very much.
And next.
So, hello again, everyone. As I say, I'm Adam from Gaijin Gamer. I'm a variety streamer. Not streaming as much as I used to, but I'm trying to get back into a routine, trying to do at least 2 times a week if I can, sometimes 3 if it's possible. Bit of anything and everything. It's usually absolute chaos. Nothing I ever plan goes right. And also a leather worker in my free time, making things like this lovely piece of armor that is mostly hidden behind the microphone. And also dice trays that come in a variety of colors. So I have sort of shops on Etsy, do commissions, so watch straps, belts, anything you want basically. If it's made of leather, I'll give it a try.
Right.
Speaking of leather, hi. I'm Luna. I have not streamed since last time we played Strahd. So calling myself a streamer is a bit of a lie. But I am also moving house. So yes. And nothing I could ever say was going to beat the segue, so just.
And finally,
Hi, I am Tex. I'm a variety streamer. I play some kind of RPG story from softy type games. I also do some TTRPGs, done Blades in the Dark with these people. And
We went in the dark. That's the name. That's so dumb. I'm so sorry.
Everyone had the lights off. It was a real pain to see the dice rolls. And also do some live music streams.
lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I say, we'll be doing another one of these because I want to see where this ends. Apart from that, we'll be doing more streams during the week. So I'll be back on Tuesday for our regularly scheduled Final Fantasy IX. Probably another one on Thursday as well, and then possibly one on Sunday, depending on how things turn out. In the meantime, yes, thank you to all my wonderful guests for joining. You're all lovely people. Thank you to everyone in the chat for all your comments and sausage-related comments. We're going to go give Hebrew a raise now. They're playing GeoGuessr at the moment. So, yes, we'll do that. We're back again soon. We'll let you know when. Follow us on the Twitter if you want to find out that kind of stuff, or join the Discord, or do any of those things. Whatever's, links in my bio, man. So, yeah, see you all again soon. Bye, everyone.